to the questions posed to you, whether by the committee's lead counsel or by honorable members of this committee. The committee appreciates your presence and expects your utmost candor and cooperation throughout this proceeding. Thank you, Mr. Njie, once again. First, we will get into the affirmation of oath before we pass the baton to the lead counsel for our testimony for today. All right. Could we do an introduction quickly before we get into business? As usual, Honorable Abdullah Sise, Chairperson of the Special Select Committee of the National Assembly.
Honorable Madi Sise, Vice Chair.
Honorable Sirif Sar, Member.
Omar Jame, Member.
Honorable Alhaji Mo, Member.
Good morning, Mr. Njie. I am Lamin M. Diba. I am counsel to the committee, and I'll be lead counsel for today. On my left is Ms. Aji Seinika, also counsel to the committee. On my right is Mr. Tony F. Mendy, who is a legal assistant to the committee.
All right, thank you so very much, Council. Secretary, can you?
I, Alieu, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Njie. Council? Yep. To you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning once again, Mr. Njie.
Morning.
So I would ask that, even though I am well aware of your names, I would ask that for the record, you state your names and just a very brief background of your professional life.
Thank you very much once again. I think this is my first time to be here. Chairman, Vice, and the members of the commission here, and then the legal team, the press. I'm very honored and humbled to be in your midst this morning. I think we were supposed to start by 10 o'clock, 11 rather. But all the same, my name is Alieu Njie, Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service. Basically, I'm from the provinces, a village called Sao Glory. Not well known and so on the map, but because it's a small community, I attended Samatako Primary School, which is 7 kilometers. You should be close to me. You're okay with that? Once again.
It's fine. It's not too close.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Thank you. I attended Samatako Primary School, 7 kilometers from my village. First person to attend the primary school in my village. Finished that, attended St. George's Basse, started the teaching in 91 in Block. Went to Nigeria to study. I did my A-level and O-level and A-level in Sokoto. both Sokoto State College of Arts and Science and the Haliru Benji College of Arts and Science in Sokoto. Attended my university also in the same city. In Nigeria, came back, joined the civil service, was at PMO briefly for complete 1 year, moved to the office of the president, where I was a cadet administrative officer, then the administrative officer, assistant secretary, senior assistant secretary, principal assistant secretary, deputy permanent secretary, and permanent secretary during the former regime. When I was SAS, that is senior assistant secretary, I went to University of Manchester, that is in the United Kingdom, where I did my master's in international development management. Came back, then rose through the ranks as deputy permanent secretary and then permanent secretary. Then redeployed to the foreign service, that is in Venezuela, as a force secretary. It's a long story of describing that, why from permanent secretary to force secretary. But all the same is, I think it was just space issue. Venezuela for complete 6 months, then moved to London. I was redeployed to London, force secretary, then councillor, deputy high commissioner, and then charge the affairs, which is complete 10 years. I was in London at the diplomatic mission. Came back, then appointed as permanent secretary at the Ministry of Environment, 6 months, then moved to, then appointed as secretary to cabinet. Again, that is 1 year plus, and then appointed as secretary to cabinet and head of the civil service, which I'm holding now. Just in summary.
Thank you, Mr. Njie. It was a good summary. What was the appointment date? What was your appointment date for these two respective positions? And please, if you may elaborate, it seems as if when you were appointed as secretary to cabinet, it was not fused with the role of secretary general, or is it the other way around? Please explain for us when this happened and how it happened.
Thank you. I know when I was at the office of the president then, during the former regime, you have secretary to cabinet separated from the office of the secretary general. At that time, the secretary general is the head of the civil service. When I became the secretary to cabinet, there was also the secretary general and head of the civil service. That is, my job was purely on taking minutes for the cabinet when there is cabinet meeting. So the secretary general and head of the civil service is responsible for the entire civil service. He has responsibility of monitoring and also the activities of the civil service. But for my job at that time was purely on cabinet meetings and taking the minutes.
What was the appointment date?
The appointment date for my as secretary to cabinet was 24th January 2023.
And then when was it subsequently fused?
18th November 2024.
Thank you. Can you give us a brief rundown of your general role in both these two positions, albeit that they are fused now, just to give us a genesis of your duties and your functions?
Oh, you know, the secretary to cabinet, obviously, if there is cabinet meeting, you take the minutes. And then after that, you have what we call cabinet conclusions. And cabinet conclusions are sent to the respective ministries. When you send them to respective ministries, then you make a follow-up on the implementations. But all these things, most of the time, you have to pass through the Secretary General and head of the civil service. Now, fusing them together makes my job easier. It's difficult, but it makes it easier for me, because that means I have to deal with the ministries directly, and then the civil service, that is ranging from the permanent secretary, ministers, permanent secretaries, and then the rest of the civil servants.
Great. Just to understand, the committee would like to understand the inner workings of these things. Previously, there was an office of the Secretary to Cabinet, correct? And there was also the office of the Secretary General, who is coincidentally the head of the civil service.
Yes.
My first question is, both these positions, are they offices in the meaning that they are subordinates to that office? Does the Secretary to Cabinet have an office, so to speak, with subordinates?
Yeah.
As well as the head of civil service?
Head of civil service is the entire civil service. Secretary to Cabinet is also under the Secretary General that when it is separated. The Secretary to Cabinet was also answerable to the Secretary General, apart from being taking minutes in Cabinet office. The Secretary General is more senior. But now fusing them together, that means you have both the responsibility of the Secretary General and also the Secretary to Cabinet. So basically, it makes your work very easy in terms of implementation, because government has to implement issues as soon as possible, urgently for that matter.
Your last statement, is it part of the reason why the government thought it necessary to fuse the two roles?
Yeah, that's right.
Is there any other reason?
No, apart from make sure implementations, because you transmit decisions taken from cabinet to the civil service.
Fantastic. I'm very interested in that. The Secretary to Cabinet transmits decisions taken
from cabinet. Yes.
And of course, that would mean that the Secretary to Cabinet would have some sort of repository in which records are kept.
Absolutely.
And once that is transmitted, this was the position before, once it was transmitted through the head of civil service, that's the Secretary General, to the relevant ministries, the head of the civil service and the relevant ministries will equally have their archives.
No, I'll come back again. It's not like any decision taken from the cabinet will be transmitted to the Secretary General. But any decision that is taken from cabinet, you can send it to the respective ministries. You know that there are things that you have to be working in closely with the Secretary General, because obviously you are dealing with the civil service. Most of the things that you are dealing with, you have to send them through the Secretary General, then filter to the civil service. But now, as Secretary of Cabinet and head of the civil service, it'll help me deal with them directly instead, going anywhere. Obviously, let's take an example, just a basic one. You are the Secretary General, and then I'm the Secretary of Cabinet. Decisions are taken, and they're extremely urgent. Now it is sent to your office, and you travel. When shall that happen? Maybe the person has traveled for, like for example, what happened to me, I went for Hajj. A letter was sent to me, I did not see it for complete.
We'll get to that.
You understand what I mean? You know, these are some, I'm just giving you an example. When things are delayed, obviously, but this is better off.
I very much like your example. We'll get to that. If you may just confirm. Now, let me rephrase the proposition. The Secretary to Cabinet, after decisions are made in Cabinet, would minute whatever decision is made to the relevant ministry. And of course...
Not minute, you send a letter.
A letter?
Yeah.
Point of correction, thank you very much. You would send a letter to the relevant ministry. And of course, the Secretary to Cabinet would keep a copy. And, okay. Thank you very much. Now, with regards to why you're here today, you initially received a summons from this committee, didn't you? It was a summons to produce. Would you like to confirm that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I received it. Yeah.
A summons to produce some documents.
Yeah, so.
And of course, the summons suggested a few documents.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And in fact, you responded to that summons. Isn't that so?
Yeah, that's right.
You responded via a letter dated the 16th of July, 2025.
That's right.
That's correct. In addition to that, you made two statements on two different dates to the investigators of this committee. The first being on the 23rd of July.
Yeah, yeah.
And the second subsequently.
Quite right.
Before we move further, Honorable Chair, I would like to identify and mark those three documents. And for the purposes of this testimony, perhaps mark the summons as well. And I would suggest that we mark them SC 1 to 4, beginning with the two statements in their chronological order, SC1 and SC2, and then the letter dated the 16th, 25 as SC3, and then the summons issued by the committee as SC4. In the meantime, if the technical department can assist me with my mic, it's Is that fine, Honorable Chair? Can we proceed? Perhaps if I may be forgiven, if the technical team can confirm that the mic is operational. Fantastic. Honorable Chair, SC1 to SC4. Mr. Njie?
No.
In your letter to the committee, in response to the summons, I believe you have your own copy, or do you require?
No, I have it.
Fantastic. You stated that you had no records or documents in your possession concerning the work and implementation of the JANNEH Commission. Isn't that so?
Yes.
And in your written statement, at least the first statement, you reiterated the same, and that you had no relevant documents available in your office. Isn't that so?
Quite right.
Before we move on, if I may ask that you do the tedious job for me of just reading out the letter dated July 16, 2025, which is SC3 in our records. Please read it out. We are very patient, as slowly as possible, as clearly as possible.
Thank you. The subject matter was response to summons from Special Select Committee on Sales and Disposal of Assets, Referent Committee summons dated 14 July 2025.
Continue, please.
I acknowledge receipt of the summons dated 14 July 2025, issued by the Special Select Committee established by the National Assembly to inquire into the sales and disposals of assets, identify the commissions of inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises and offices as regards their dealings with former President JANNEH and connected matters. I wish to respectfully inform the committee that the Cabinet Office does not maintain specific recording regarding the sales and disposal of assets in question. The nature of the cabinet proceedings primarily involve policy deliberation, decisions on government business, administrative coordination rather than the operational management of the asset disposal or commercial transactions. For comprehensive records relating to the financial activities and asset disposal under inquiry, I would respectfully recommend that the committee direct its inquiry to the Ministry of Justice, which would be better positioned to provide the detailed documentation and records that the committee requires for its investigation. The Ministry of Justice would have maintained the relevant files and documentation relating to the Commission finding and subsequent actions taken regarding the identified assets. Given the above, I respectfully seek the committee's indulgence to dispense with my personal appearance before the committee. While respectfully requesting to be excused from personal appearance, I wish to emphasize the current administration commitment to transparency and accountability. Should the committee require any non-classified information that falls within the proper scope of Cabinet Office records, I will be prepared to provide such information in written form, subject to appropriate legal and constitutional safeguards. I trust that the committee will recognize the Cabinet's commitment to supporting the committee's important work within the appropriate legal boundaries. I am confident that the Ministry of Justice will be able to provide the committee with the substantive records and information necessary to its inquiry. I remain available for any further clarification that may be required.
Thank you, Mr. Njie. And I'm happy that the letter concluded with "I remain available for any further clarification that may be required." In fact, the committee would wish to clarify an issue. And perhaps if you can explain what the relevant legal boundaries you refer to in your letter would be.
The legal boundary that I was talking about, for example, you know, the task force. In fact, it's this morning that I got another while we are searching, because I make sure that I wanted to provide sufficient information for you. If you look at my first appearance, the first appearance.
When you say my first appearance, you mean
the investigators.
The appearance with the investigation team. Yes.
Whatever, yeah. I did not come with anything. What I discovered, because I told them that I have been coming to the office during the weekend just to make sure that I get this information intact. We could not see anything. But I keep trying, you understand, just to make sure we get this information. Because I was also interested in the information you are requesting for. It's not like it's only for you. When I saw the letter, I was very much interested, because when it started, I was not around. I was not in this country. So obviously it is also my desire to know what was happening as a Secretary of Cabinet. So we keep coming to check during the weekend, and then we could not see anything. But then when I came here, they gave me some papers, some documents. I'm coming. It's leading to that. I'm coming. Just give me 1 second.
Just kindly just answer the question first, and then we will allow you the latitude to explain how you want to explain.
No. What I mean is, I'm talking about the legal distance that does not go beyond my boundary as Secretary of Cabinet. That was what I was referring to.
Can you say that again?
I don't want the legal thing that you are asking. I don't want to go beyond what is beyond the Secretary of Cabinet's responsibility.
Can you please elaborate on that responsibility?
Like, for example, when you are Secretary of Cabinet, you are a member of the subcommittees, cabinet subcommittees, but you are not a member of the Ministerial Task Force Committee.
But you do take minutes for cabinet.
Cabinet, yes.
The main cabinet body.
But you are not a member of the cabinet task force.
So how does that relate to any boundaries that you refer to?
Yeah, if it is not your domain, you cannot. That is it lies in the hands of the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service.
Just a question for the purpose of enlightenment. The subcommittees of cabinet, do they eventually report to the whole cabinet?
Cabinet, yes.
And you sit in cabinet as the master of records?
Yeah.
So can we reconcile that statement that it is beyond your bound as secretary to cabinet?
No.
If you are the master of records of cabinet, and if you can allow me to land, and the ministerial or subcommittees of cabinet in effect report back to cabinet.
No, I don't think that you know, like for example, the cabinet secretary take minutes of what has been reported back, but you are not a member of that task force.
That is understood.
Yes.
Of course, the task force would report back
To
the nitty-gritties
Yes.
of what their function or duty entailed back to cabinet. And then cabinet would be abreast with the issues, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's true. What I'm trying to say is how this thing was done. I was not aware and I was not around. So obviously, so how it was done, that was not to my knowledge. So what I'm saying is, what I have now is only the records of that, what has happened. What has happened, I have the records of that. But how it was done, I will candidly tell you that I was not aware and I don't know how it was done. What I know is I have the records that I can present to you.
So you confirm that you have the records?
Yeah, how it was, like for example, you said minutes of meeting of cabinet establishing the ministerial committee.
What are you reading from?
The letter that was sent to me.
The summons?
Yes.
That was sent to you before you sent your response?
Yeah.
The summons that prompted your response that you don't have any records?
Yeah. This one I got it even this morning.
So that means you did not make any effort to verify whether such documents existed at the time the summons was issued to you?
No. What I'm saying is, I think that's a serious allegation. What I'm saying is because when I got the summons, when I returned, I saw the summons, I involved my team quickly.
Can you elaborate? You mentioned when you returned. Returned from?
Fudge. I was away from...
So you took leave from your office?
Yeah, exactly.
Before you explain, your office, you had previously mentioned that your office is indeed an office and you indeed have subordinates.
Yes.
And when you go on leave, what are the protocols put in place? Does work come to standstill or do you hand over?
No.
Explain to the
like the cabinet, at the moment I'm the only secretary to cabinet. You understand? So when things are, ministries submit papers, what we call CPs. So all these CPs are put together. We have a subcommittee that look at the CPs and prepare for next cabinet. So during this period, all the subcommittee, in my absence, they will be meeting and then reviewing those CPs. They are people reviewing the CP even in my absence. So it cannot stop it.
What is a CP for the purpose of the record?
Cabinet paper.
Thank you.
Cabinet papers are reviewed by a committee, and that when we review it, we look at what needs to be added or what is missing, to look at some of the templates, and then we send it back to ministries. Tell you, look, your paper is prepared this, but it's not the right way. Do it this way, and this is what we are looking for. So it doesn't stop even when I was away.
I appreciate that. So basically, your answer is that when you're away,
it doesn't stop.
Work does not stop.
No, it cannot stop.
And a summons was issued by this committee. You have confirmed that.
Yeah,
and you've also confirmed that the summons suggested a few documents. Perhaps for the benefit of the record, if you may read out the suggestions from the summons. What documents? You need not read the entire summons, just the documents that were suggested.
Sure. 1 minute of meetings of the cabinet establishing ministerial committee in relation to the commission, including membership to the said ministerial committee. All minutes of the meeting of the said ministerial committee. All the minutes of meeting, reports of any technical committee to the Ministerial Committee, all reports submitted by the Ministerial Committee to the Cabinet, all correspondent by the Ministerial Committee, whether internal to Cabinet or other institution or other individual, any other record or information relating to the said Ministerial Committee, any information relevant to the committee.
So, Mr. Njie, that was a letter issued for the summons of the documents that you have read out.
Yeah.
And of course, the last document was an open-ended request. Rather, the last item was an open-ended request for any document relevant to the work of this committee. Yet, on the 16th day of July, you responded. And your response, if I may quote you loosely, was that your office does not have any records pertaining to the work of this committee. Is that correct?
Yes.
And today, you have just mentioned that you have records. Is that correct?
What I got today, yes.
At the time you were issued the letter, the summons rather, and at the time of you responding to the summons through your letter dated the 16th of July, and equally at the time of making your first statement, did you make any effort to verify whether any of the documents listed as you read in the summons existed in cabinet archives or in your office?
Yes, I know when I came back also, when I say when I came back is the same thing. We check in our records, because obviously when we prepare the cabinet conclusions, it is bind, you bind it. And then that is what we go through. Where the cabinet conclusion is, that's where we extract. But this particular issue, we could not see.
Which particular issue?
That is in the summon. So some of the issues.
Some of the issues, or there is a particular issue?
I think I can say some of the issues. I can use some of the issues.
Let's go through the issues one by one. Your letter basically refuted the existence of any minutes of cabinet, any minutes of meeting of cabinet establishing the ministerial committee in relation to the commission, including membership to the said ministerial committee. Are you telling us that cabinet does not have record of it establishing the ministerial committee?
That because now I have it. The first one I concluded because I did not have it and I did not see it anywhere, and even my team told me that we don't have it.
Was a search conducted?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. 2 weekends we've been coming to the office just to search. If you had sent me this even without a summon, I would have been interested to know all these procedures. Even before, when we made the search, we definitely searched 2 weekends.
When you say 2 weekends, you mean 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays?
2 Sundays.
So 4 days?
4 days.
You were searching?
So, but what do we discover?
The office must be massive, Mr.
No, it's massive. It's massive. If I tell you that, but we have records. We have records. So the conclusion was we don't have it. So, but then we did not end like that. We also said, let's check other files.
So where did you find these records?
I found it in a closed file, that is what we call PRC, private and confidential. That is how I discovered this letter, this morning in fact.
So you had not checked the closed files at the time of the issuance of the summons?
Yes, I did not check closed file, but also the problem is letters without references is always difficult to check.
What do you mean by letters without references?
Like for example, written up like this, if it has a reference like you say, okay, National Assembly 1/2/ blah blah blah, it's easy to check that file.
Yes, but
like, but without that, you cannot trace it.
But with respect, Mr. Njie, those references are internal references for cabinet.
Yeah.
And in fact, you just mentioned that.
I'm coming.
Allow me.
Don't rush. Let me help you.
Allow me, please.
Okay. Yeah.
I am the one asking the questions. You just mentioned that it was a closed and confidential file. So there was no possibility of us knowing any reference, would there? That is an unreasonable ask for Parliament to know the reference to any documents. It is rather the Secretary to Cabinet who should know all the references. Once a subject matter has been brought to your attention, you should cross-reference with your reference archive. Isn't that so?
You're coming back to the same thing I'm telling you. What I'm saying is the same thing. If you don't have a reference, that means you just have to search blindly. You understand? Just to try to trace. You do everything possible. So now we search all what we have in stock. We did not have it till when we discovered it this morning somewhere in one of the files. This morning, as I said, the extra document that I'm telling you, if you look at it from the Ministry of Justice, that one was extra. It's not even here. And I gave it to the investigators because we saw it in the file. We said, okay, this guy was part of the committee and he was inviting them. Probably if they contact him, they will be able to provide information.
When did you give it to the investigators?
In the second day.
So, Mr. Njie, in effect, what we're saying is that a search conducted in 4 days after the issuance of a summons could not yield any result, but a search conducted today is the 28th, right? 28th of July, 2025, the morning of your appearance before this committee, suddenly records appeared. Is that what the committee should accept from you? Or rather should believe?
It depends on how you perceive it, because if you know how records are done, it's not like I personally as Secretary of Cabinet, you understand, we know everywhere where the records are, but when it is within the Cabinet office, it is in bulk. You start from one book to another, and you look at the dates. When was this? I never knew when it was done.
If I can tap from your experience, of course you're a more well-versed administrator than I am, or that I could wish to be at this very moment. Can you enlighten this committee what the purpose of records are?
Wow, that's it's not very complicated, but it's something that in every institution in the civil service has what we call a records office. The records office is responsible for keeping all the letters going in and out. Letters coming in and letters that are going out. Anything that comes within that institution, that is the records office, that is responsible. But Office of the President it has a records office, but there are things that they are responsible, there are things that because the office is so big, you have the Secretary of Cabinet office. Very rare they deal with cabinet papers. And then also there are letters that we call confidential that are sent to the PRC file. That also rarely it goes to the records office. That is different from the records office. So you can have 3 sections within the Office of the President. Other ministries you can have 1 records office, but ours we have 3 of them.
So my question, the answer to my question was that the purpose of records is to? It was lost in your answer. I could not get the...
It's to keep records.
It's to keep records?
Yes.
And those records are identified and marked, aren't they? Yes. Just like we marked your documents today. Your records, once they come in or go out, or within the institution, are marked for identification purposes. Isn't that so? And these are marked so that when you need, to put simply, when you need the document in the future, you can refer to it with ease. Isn't that so?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that so?
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. So, how come after a summons was issued, your office could not trace any documents in relation to this committee's mandates? And if I may be more explicit, your office could not trace any minutes establishing the ministerial committee.
No.
Can I land? From your letter?
Yeah.
Your office could not trace any minutes of the committee itself. Your office also could not trace all minutes of meetings and reports of the technical committee to the ministerial committee. Your office also could not trace any reports submitted by the ministerial committee to cabinet. Your office also could not trace all correspondences by the ministerial committee, whether internal to cabinet or other institutions or individuals. Your office also could not trace any and all records or information relating to the said ministerial committee. In fact, your office could not trace any information relevant to the committee. Isn't that so? At the time of you writing our letter, after an extensive 4-day search.
Yeah, true. That is true. It was my first day here when I came, the investigators, and then I was given some documents. I said, now this thing can be helpful, because the letters that I had some references. The references are the ones that we use to trace those letters in the files, and we discovered it was a closed file for a long time.
So you want us to believe that without references, these files would have not been found?
It's really difficult. You can search. I would have searched for the next 1 month, probably I trace something. Like I searched for 4 days, I did not see it, and then I will continue searching because I was interested in this information not only for the committee here, but for my records myself.
And it never occurred to you that perhaps the information that we're seeking, being information that was relevant about 6 years ago or recorded about 6 years ago, could emanate from a closed file? It didn't occur to you?
No, it did. You know, like for example, when we have the records office, anything that is closed, there is also a room where we close, all the closed files are there. You can be sitting there for the next complete 1 month, searching for with one cell. You cannot even finish it. That's also the records we have.
But why would that be so? Aren't the documents marked? Aren't they classified into groups?
That is what I'm saying. That was why the documents I have from here, it really helped me go straight to the file that was closed.
Mr. Njie, I would want to believe that the highest office in this land is better organized, such that if a request is made by an institution, especially an institution like the National Assembly, which, by the way, cannot be deterred from seeing any document, whether classified or not. If such a request is made, you want to tell me that without a reference, that your office cannot advise its mind to its reference. And I'm glad you brought in the records office of the National Assembly as an example, because if I walk into the records office of the National Assembly and ask them for a letter, all I need to mention is the subject matter of that letter. And the record clerk, mind you, who does not have an extensive experience or CV like you do, or does not have a master's degree like you do, but he is very diligent. He will trace the reference number and afford it to me. And I would also give you the proposition that just like Cabinet, the National Assembly archives are extensive. They are huge. They are massive, Mr. Njie. But if I gave him a subject matter and gave him the year of that subject matter, he would remove or trace that file in 5 minutes. And I would want to believe that it's the same in other institutions. Or are you saying that the records officer in the National Assembly is a magician?
If I tell you the office of the President, both the records office and the Cabinet office has information that back to 1970s, most particularly the Cabinet office. And then,
with all due respect, Mr. Njie, we are not talking about a subject matter that was in this. Yeah, but if once your answers need to be directed to the relevant topic at hand. We are talking about the JANNEH Commission, and the time frame for the JANNEH Commission will be from 2017 to date, as it regards your office. So, with all due respect, if you can limit our considerations to that time period.
Because JANNEH Commission, I was not around. I'm coming because I was not around, but I made every effort to make sure that I get this information. I know it is one way or the other you will get something out of it, however long it is, because you requested for it, and then it took me, I said, 2 weekends going to search for it. I did not see it, but then still now we continue doing it. We continue. That is why when I got the letters here from your office, and then when I went back, I was able to trace it. And I even provided information that we are not even, I think, no, but you generalized, you said any order, that any order help anyway. That is why I was able to provide that letter. So the records are intact. You can get information within a short period, but most of the time, very helpful if you have what we call a reference number.
So we can get information in a short period, you confirm?
Very short period. Very short period, but it need thorough search in terms of it is already closed. But if you have a reference number, you will be able to get it.
So let me
if you have a reference number, you can easily get it.
Yes, but with all due respect, Mr. Njie, the reference number is an internal mechanism. Would you know the reference number of a National Assembly document?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
No, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
So you are.
There is a specific file for it.
I see.
Every institution, there is a specific file for it at the office.
And you as an outsider would know that?
No, you will not know, except if you ask for it, they will obviously open it straight away and they tell you National Assembly reference so and so and so.
And that is my point.
Yeah.
We asked for certain documents with a very distinct subject matter, very clear subject matter, the JANNEH Commission. We went ahead, rather the committee went ahead to list 6 inferential documents and a 7th to open it as wide as possible for any relevant, any relevant document to the committee. Your response was that you do not have these documents.
Yeah.
Fine, let's proceed from that. Yeah. I wish to understand, is it your evidence that all the records that we ask for, all 7 of these items, are in a closed and confidential file? Yeah. Is that your evidence?
Yes,
On which I want the record to reflect that clearly, that everything that was entailed in the summons.
No, hold on, Mr. Not everything in the letter is in a closed file. What I'm able to provide is what I found in a closed file. It's not everything is in the closed file.
So where are the other items?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because obviously when the task force was created, it was under the Ministry of Justice. So obviously we don't have the records of that.
But you have records of report to the cabinet by that ministry, by that committee rather?
Yeah, I have the task force report. I've seen it.
And was that in a closed and confidential file?
That's right.
Fair enough. Let's go let's go to the second page of the summons.
No, start with the first one.
Okay, let's start with the first one. As you please, Mr. Njie. Number one, minutes of the meeting of Cabinet establishing the Ministerial Committee in relation to the Commission, including membership to the said Ministerial Committee. Is it your evidence that the establishing of the Ministerial Committee could not be seen by you and you had to get a reference to get us the minutes of Cabinet?
No, that's the one I'm telling you we showed us this morning.
What is that?
That is
a report?
No, the establishment of the task force.
And where was that found?
In the closed file.
In the closed file?
Yes.
The closed file that was very mysteriously placed?
No, not mysterious, closed.
Closed, yeah. But far from your reach?
Yes.
Indeed. Let's go to number two. All minutes of meetings of the said Ministerial Committee.
No.
I give you that. I give you courtesy because you have mentioned that you wouldn't have those minutes. I would assume that for now, that those minutes are not with you. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's go to number three. All minutes of meetings and reports of any technical committee to the Ministerial Committee. What is your response to that? Please put on your mic.
We don't have it.
We don't have that.
No.
Number four, all reports submitted by the Ministerial Committee to Cabinet.
That's the task force. That's the one we have.
Was that in a closed file?
It was in a closed
that
file.
was far from your reach?
Yeah.
That you could not see in 4 days?
Yeah.
Number five, all correspondences by Ministerial Committee, whether internal to Cabinet or other institutions or individuals.
Yeah, I saw one letter. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I have one. You can see I just indicated it is in our records when I received it from here. So I just indicated it.
So was that also in a closed and confidential file?
Exactly, yeah.
Far from your reach?
Yeah.
Number six, any and all records or information relating to the said Ministerial Committee. Did you find anything?
Any information relating to the said Ministerial Committee? I've seen some on regards to the tractors. That's the one I have.
And that was also
in the
closed,
file, yes.
Confidential,
file.
And very far reaching file.
When you say very far, I don't know what you mean.
I mean that it was untraceable for 4 weekends, as per your testimony.
I don't know whether I mentioned 4 weekends.
Sorry, 4 days rather.
Yeah. Yes, I have not seen it for that because it's not on our site. It's not on the records office here.
Okay. So it was on that file?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yes.
Okay. The last one is any information relating to the committee. Is there any other document that you brought?
Yeah, I think I saw a letter that I submitted to the investigators from the secretary of the Ministerial Task Force.
Okay. I'll ask for that letter to be brought.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I would like to understand the rationale of conducting searches on the weekend. Wasn't the weekday enough? Because even though your testimony is that 4 days, 2 weekends, 4 days is when you made a search, I would like to bring your attention to the date the summons was issued. The summons was issued on the 10th day of June, 2025.
Yeah.
Your response was on the 16th of July, 2025. That is 5 days in excess of a month. So about 35 days you had to search for documents. So it's not 4 days or 2 weekends. Your office had 35 days to search. And apparently you're very true to your word that the documents were so far-reaching that you would need 3 months. Isn't that so?
I'm not sure whether you're trying to take us back to, because when I say I went for Hajj, it was when I came back, then the clerk of the National Assembly was the one who called me. He said, you send you this. I said, I have not seen it. Then he sent it to my WhatsApp. Then I started asking in our office that I have this thing. Then they tried to look for it. So when they brought it, I said, this is extremely urgent. You can see the date. Extremely urgent. And I think it was during the course of the week that I came, and then I just started the next weekend, straight away.
You mentioned that your office is equipped with human resource.
Yeah.
And that when you go on leave, as you went to Hajj, by the way, I think I should be calling you Alhaji instead of Mr. Njie. Huh? When you went on leave,
If it is not provocative, you can just call me
as you please, which one would you prefer?
Alieu Njie.
Mr. Njie?
Alieu, sir.
Okay, I will stick to, I will be formal enough to say.
No problem,
Mr. Njie.
no problem.
All right, Mr. Njie, you mentioned that when you take leave, there is a protocol or a procedure for handing over. Isn't that so? So it's irrelevant that you are away of your office. The fact of the matter is that there was a letter issued to your office, and your office had 35 days to produce the requests, and your office failed. After 35 days, your office, through you, wrote a letter saying no records were found.
I did not see.
Sorry?
When I searched for those 4 days, I did not see, and I don't want to waste your time. So I said, man, this is really horrible. So, but that is why at the latter part of it, I said I'm going to continue looking for it. So I will provide you information if I receive it.
Please forward me to that latter part.
No, that is anytime I receive the information. If you look at the letter that I wrote.
Yes, please. Where does it say that you would furnish? From what
I remain available for any clarification that may be required. Okay, I am confident that the Ministry of Justice will be provided with substantial records information. Yeah, obviously, it's just the availability, my availability, that was why I was referring to.
From your letter, it was conclusive that there were no records.
Yes.
And of course, we were meant to clarify. But you will agree with me that if you don't give me anything to clarify, there will be nothing to clarify, Mr. Njie, because your letter was pretty clear.
It was pretty clear
that you have no records.
I have no records. And that was when after the search, when I have no records.
35 days.
Yes, because obviously the records I have within the domain of the secretary, the cabinet office, all what we searched, it was not there. And I concluded that there was no records. So, but when I came here, I was given those letters. I said, very good, this is very helpful. So when I went back, I used the same references. Then we are able to trace it in the closed file.
In fact, you were shown several official cabinet documents during your first appearance. Yeah, and that was before this investigation team, correct?
Yeah.
And you do accept that these documents exist in the records of cabinet?
Absolutely, yeah.
So why did you fail to mention those documents?
No, those documents, that's what I'm saying. It was when I was given, the first day, I did not have it. But when they gave it to me, I went and made cross-referencing. I came back, I found it was there. Then I told them, yes, they are there.
So your office you have mentioned has a human resource.
Absolutely.
An extensive human resource.
Yeah.
And there are 3 records offices, as you mentioned, right? Correct?
3 what?
3 offices that are repositories for records, you had earlier mentioned.
Yes.
And all these 3 offices, I'm assuming, are equipped with human resource.
Absolutely.
And they are under your direction.
Yes.
And since you laid the appropriate handing over records, procedures rather, before your exit, your temporary exit, or going on leave rather, if I may put it that way, there was a substantive holder to instruct these offices to search for the relevant documents. Isn't that so?
If I would tell you, because even when I discussed with the chief of staff about the letter, he said they have not seen it.
So yeah, it seems like your office has a serious impediment in searching for records. Are you stating that even a letter as recent, or rather a summons as recent as June of this year could not be traced by your office?
You know, the letters sent to our offices are always recorded. When you bring a letter, they check the record books. Who delivered it, where it is coming from. But in this case, I got this from the WhatsApp group, that is from the clerk himself, the copy from the clerk, before I was even able to trace it in the office.
When you say the clerk, you mean the clerk of the National Assembly?
Yes.
Who in fact is our chief investigator, if I may.
Yeah, he's the one who even gave me the letter. He said, we sent this thing to you.
Yes.
I said, to be frank with you, I have not seen it. But give me time, let me look at it, for it.
Can you confirm that your office also did not see it?
No, at the end, when I asked them, I told them I have this from the clerk of the National Assembly. They also went to search, and then they saw the letter. Obviously, they gave it to me. I told them that I have received it now, and then we take action on this basis.
If I may sidetrack just a bit, I came into public service in 2019, if I may be honest with you, just to share with you. And I was exposed to the administration around about that time. And there's a funny instrument that lays at the records office. They call it a weigh book. Why they call it a weigh book, I don't know, because it doesn't weigh much. But that weigh book, every single transaction that occurs in the records office is recorded in that book. Does your office have a similar book?
They have it.
Do you also call it a weigh book?
They call it a weigh book.
Does it weigh much?
It weighs much.
It does. Okay. That weigh book, what's the purpose of it as an administrator?
The purpose is to track every letter that is sent into the office and any letter that is sent out of the office.
Precisely.
Yes.
Did it require you being prompted by our chief investigator, which is a courtesy, by the way, because the clerk is the chief investigator for this committee, extended you courtesy, because once again your office failed to track records. It seems like there is a serious issue of tracking records in your office. Couldn't the way book be much of aid at that moment?
Yes, but what I'm saying is, you know, the main records office, it did not go there. They did not send the letter directly to that office. Because when we went to the main records office, it was not there.
Okay, so out of the three records offices, there's a main one and there's
a main one, yeah.
Okay, can you explain to us? You know, if you don't give us full and frank disclosure, we will not understand. Now, because explain to the committee how it works.
Yeah, because when I started explaining some time ago, you say I'm going too long. So you say come direct. So now you are asking me again to give you explanation. So the explanation is very simple. Three records office.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Njie.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right. You know the records office, you have the main one. The main one is for the entire office of the president. But then the other one is that is my own office, that is the cabinet office. So if letters like this are addressed to the Secretary of Cabinet, the main office will just forward it directly. Instead of entering it into the way book, they will just send it to the cabinet office instead. So the other one is the confidential, where we have the confidential letter. It's sent straight to where we have the confidential files. So that one also, nobody opens it. And that is why it is recorded. That is, it also has another way book. So you see, you have three way books. You have two different types.
And did you search all 3 way books before issuing your letter?
No, I did not search for all 3 way books, to be frank with you.
Mr. Njie, are you aware that failure to disclose material documents to a committee of the National Assembly, talk less of this committee, may constitute a serious breach?
I see not. Can I go ahead?
Please do.
I'm a public servant. If you ask for information that you require to know, I do not have it, I did not give it to you. I see it as a disrespect, if it is me, personally. And I become very furious. I become very serious, very furious if I seek for information from any civil servant or any other institution and then you fail to provide it for me when you have it in records. But you know, personally, what I don't like also is lying. Because obviously lying is not something that you learn. It's morality. So nobody can take me to the route of lying. From home to your kids to people that you work with. That is why I report to my office 5:30 a.m. It's not even, there's a 5:30 a.m. I come to my office. Because you're working with people, you come to office late, you're disrespecting those people. That is number one, disrespect. And I hate it. That is why when I came here at 10 o'clock, I thought it was 10 o'clock, the meeting. They said it's not enough. I have to bump into a ministry just to check how they are operating and to see how whether people have started coming to work or whether they are at work. So obviously, this information is not only important to the committee. I know it's important, but it's important to me and it's important to the Gambian people, which I respect, highly respect it. Whether it ends today or whether it continues, I'm going to look for more information if I even see it, because I always want to read. I always want to know. So obviously, these are some of the things.
Thank you. And just to borrow your words, I can tell you, if not Parliament, this committee is indeed furious. And given that you later acknowledge the existence of these documents, that is in your second statement, can you explain why they were not disclosed from the onset?
You disclose something that you see.
So you stand by your testimony that you could not find?
I could not find at the beginning.
Despite the existence of a way book, despite the existence of references, and despite the existence of files?
No, come again. I said when I received the references, I was able to trace it.
But the references are your references, correct?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
They are references for the office of the Secretary to Cabinet, or Cabinet references.
No.
They are not?
They are not, no.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You have the private section, and this was in a PRC file.
So what is PRC?
It's a confidential file.
What is PRC?
Yeah, that is personal and confidential.
But what is it? What is the nature of it? Isn't it a reference?
It's a reference number.
Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah, but it's not like for everyone to see it.
Yes, but this is a committee of the National Assembly.
No, not regarding the committee. We're talking about, like, for example, I may not be privy to see the PRC if I don't deal with that issue. And nobody will see that if it is not assigned to that. It's like, if it is not assigned to you, you cannot know.
Help me understand, Mr. Njie. Are you not the master of records in Cabinet?
I am the master of records, yes.
Do you want this committee to believe that there are records that you are not privy to as the master of records?
At the moment, all the records, I know them in our office. But before I came, I'm not privy to all of them, except if I read all of them.
It would be unreasonable to ask you to read every single document. You as Mr. Njie.
No.
Let me come. But as the Secretary to Cabinet, and in fact, the head of civil service, the Secretary General, you have an office. And your office is designated into different sectors. There is somebody responsible for records. There is somebody responsible for correspondences. I'm sure you have a finance person, etc. When correspondences come, we don't expect that you know exactly where to find it, but we expect that you know exactly who to ask to find what you need.
It is very easy. Well, just point of correction, I'm not the Secretary General.
What are you?
I'm the head of the Secretary to Cabinet and head of the Civil Service.
Which was formerly the Secretary General.
Yeah, formally, at least you confirm it's formally. It's no longer.
Is there any Secretary General right now?
No.
So effectively you're doing the role of a Secretary General?
Yeah, he's not there.
Effectively you're doing the role of a Secretary General?
I'm doing the head, yes, Secretary to Cabinet and head of the Civil Service.
This is a serious affair, Mr. Njie, and I would urge that we don't dwell in semantics.
Yeah, because why? You know why? Because according to our records, we always write Secretary to Cabinet and head of the Civil Service.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You are not the Secretary General.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We're just helping you. If you don't need it also, you can put it aside.
I always need help, and I'll take that.
No, I mean, if you don't want the rectification, you can just put it aside. You continue saying Secretary General.
Okay, no problem. I would now correct myself and say
Secretary to Cabinet.
Secretary to Cabinet and Head of Civil Service.
Yes.
And as the Secretary to Cabinet and Head of Civil Service, you have an office.
Yes.
With people responsible for different things. And you can go to somebody, the person responsible for archiving or records, to trace a particular record.
It is there.
So, are there files kept for different subject matters? Perhaps my question is there a file kept for the JANNEH Commission?
You said different subject matters.
Is there a file kept for issues relating to the JANNEH Commission?
This specific file, I'm not sure whether it's JANNEH Commission, but we are able to see it in the reference file, according to the reference number I have. So it's not specifically like it is called JANNEH Commission, but it's a PRC file. So I believe if, I'm not saying, I don't want to give conclusions because that may haunt me. But at the end of the day, what I'm thinking about is maybe if more such, because you don't have time. You don't have time. You people don't have the committee. I mean, because you have.
With all due respect, you cannot dictate the time of the committee.
I'm not dictating the time. What I'm saying is,
what perhaps you ought to have done as an administrator.
Like for example,
if I can suggest, what you ought to have done as an administrator is to seek more time, to do your due diligence.
Very good.
Yeah. Search. But your letter did neither sought for extra time, nor left any room for ambiguity. Your letter was very clear that you have no records. Your letter, if I may be blunt, makes the assumption that you have searched the length and breadth of your records and you could not find anything. And we concluded so, because as you said, you are the office holder. If you say you've looked at all the documents, all the records, and you have found nothing, we take your word for it.
Yeah. Can I come in?
Please do.
Yeah, you know how our conclusions, cabinet conclusions are done. Anything that is concluded, we bind them. Before I came, I know there are a lot of conclusions that have been done, almost around 6 voluminous things. When I came, for 1 year, I had 36 voluminous books just for cabinet conclusion, because we conduct cabinet every Thursday. Every Thursday we conduct. So all these things, if you are looking for a particular issue, that means you have to look at the subject matter, as you indicated earlier, the subject matter in that binded book, then you are able to trace it. That means you have to be systematic. You have to look at it. So that is why I told you that on the weekend, the 2 weekends, myself and my team, we came. Not only the binded document that we looked at, but we also look at the CPs, whether there was any CP regarding this. So that's why when I did not see it, I said, why should I waste these people's time? But your suggestion is also good. If I requested for more time, I think it makes more sense requesting for more time than concluding. But obviously when I got the references, I was able to trace some of these documents, and that's what I have submitted.
Mr. Njie, you keep mentioning the 2 weekends, and I would refute the 2 weekends respectfully and stick to my 35 days. You took 35 days, not 2 weekends. And in fact, the summons was issued on the 10th day of June, 2025. And the summons was issued on the 10th day of June, 2025. And the summons sought for submission before the 20th day of June. 10 days you were given. When I say you, I don't mean Mr. Njie, I mean your office. Yes? 10 days. Instead, you took 35 days and responded in July, 16th of July, 2025. So with all due respect, you did not have any mind to safeguard our time. In fact, to put it in your own words, you wasted our time. Do you have anything to say to that? Your mic.
Wasting time is not something that I want to do to any human being, neither colleagues or a committee or the National Assembly. It's something that if that is how you regard it, I deeply regret it. But I think that was really a real confusion, or not confusion per se, but I have not seen it. And then when I saw it from the clerk, I took action. So it is I regret that if that is the case, this number of days.
Yes, I want to say fair enough, but with all due respect to your office, and to you especially, I don't believe it is fair enough. In fact, your office should have been more diligent in dealing with the summons. I wish to ask you a very preposterous question, and that is, were you attempting to conceal the existence of any of these documents from the committee?
I don't know how to the word more than or better than denial, because obviously
say no.
Yeah, because
oh yes,
I wouldn't. That is what I was saying. That would be very disrespectful. And then at the end of the day, what will I gain out of it? I don't think. I will not gain anything out of it except to help the system, because we are talking about transparency. So because I am in that position, that is why you asked me.
Exactly, and we are not asking you this question as Mr. Njie,
exactly,
but as the Secretary.
Exactly, yeah. And it's something that I was not there. So obviously I would be very curious. I'm a very curious guy. I would be very curious to see this information, and obviously to provide them to you as soon as possible as I get it.
So what is the answer to my question?
No, there is no way I can conceal that.
Were you under any instruction or pressure to reveal or conceal these documents?
Apart from my office, I have not even discussed apart from my team to get the information, I have not even discussed the matter with anybody. There is no way I can conceal that. It's not possible. That's not me.
If we can look at your statement, your second statement. In your second statement, it will be furnished to me shortly. There's reference to the fact that you consulted two persons, if I can remember, the previous two office holders. And in fact, you spoke to your team, isn't that right? Who? Spoke to two persons who were your predecessors in your current position. I will direct you to paragraph 2 of your second statement, the addendum to your first. Can you read it out?
I know the one you're talking about is the former Secretary General.
Can you just read out your statement?
I'm not sure whether I even have it here.
If you do not have a copy, can we, Secretary, can we furnish the witness with a copy of?
Which paragraph?
Let's take paragraph 2.
Yes. To begin with, I inquired with the current Vice President, that is Mohamed B.S. Jallo, who previously served as Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, about this involvement in the Ministerial Task Force. He confirmed that he was never part of it and has not attended any of the meetings and did not sign any report, although his name appears on the document, and stated that he has no knowledge of how it was included.
So isn't that somebody you consulted?
Yeah, I consulted.
I thought you said you did not consult.
Oh, no, you're talking about concealing for somebody to, how do you call, conceal on the information that is required.
Your mic.
I only consulted him regarding the report. The report is only that thing that I asked him about, not any other thing. Not how I am going to come into whether I am coming to the National Assembly or coming to face the committee and all those things. But when I consulted him, he said, "What is it for?" I said, "This is the committee. I just saw this in the report. I've seen your name, and then it is not signed." Maybe the interpretation, if you don't understand it that way, but that was the only thing. Because I was ready to dig into everything to get information, to make sure I don't come here empty-handed.
Njie,
No?
The JANNEH Commission submitted a report to Cabinet, isn't that so? To the President. Are you also not aware of that? Or is that news to you?
I don't know how to. What I'm saying is this. I know how I have records of it was established, but submitted there. Obviously, I have seen the report. Obviously, if it is in our records, obviously it must have been submitted.
So, is that a yes or no?
Yes.
So the JANNEH Commission did, in fact, submit reports to the President. And
no, I did not say to the President.
Or it was not the President?
Maybe to the Cabinet.
It may be to the Cabinet.
Yeah.
You're not sure?
No, the Cabinet, obviously.
It is in our records,
obviously.
yes.
Yeah, Cabinet office, yeah.
So I would like that on record, that obviously it is the Cabinet who was submitted to. Yes. Were you ever abreast with the report?
No.
It seems like we are feeding you a lot of information.
You've been very helpful.
Okay. Fantastic. Mr. Njie.
No.
In fact, the JANNEH Commission did submit a report, and they submitted it to the President. That report was later used by the President through Cabinet to develop what is called a white paper.
Okay.
Do you have any knowledge of the white paper?
Sorry, I don't know whether when it was submitted, I was not around. I have not seen anything on the white paper, and I have not seen that in records. So,
since you came in, you have not had discussions about the white paper?
No, absolutely.
So you're confirming that the government is in fact doing nothing about?
No, I'm not confirming that. What I'm saying,
you are the Secretary to Cabinet, aren't you? You are the custodian of all records.
Yes.
In fact, you are the one who takes records for Cabinet.
Well, since I came, there was nothing discussed about this.
And you came in 2024?
Yes, 2024.
23 or 24?
Just give me one second. 2023.
So you've been in office for 2 years?
Yeah.
In those 2 years, not a squeak or a word or a letter about the JANNEH Commission has been uttered?
No.
You're confirming that the government has done nothing since?
No, I'm not confirming that.
Mr. Njie?
No, when you say confirming.
Okay, perhaps let me rephrase.
Yeah, please.
You're confirming that Cabinet has not done anything in relation to the JANNEH Commission since you came into office?
I have not seen any record, neither during my time, not on the JANNEH Commission.
Fantastic. Yeah. And you are the keeper of records? Yeah. If there was a record, you would be the custodian?
I would have seen it.
Fantastic. So, it seems like we are enlightening each other. I would first enlighten you that, indeed, the government released a white paper. Yes, before your time, but I'm pretty sure your office is aware. And that white paper had action points.
Okay.
And you have confirmed to us today that it's either that those action points were completed before you came in, because those action points are not being acted upon, at least from 2023 to date. Is that so? You want me to say it again?
Yeah, you just repeat that.
The white paper has action points.
Yeah.
And from your testimony today,
from there, action points, I have not seen those action points.
Fantastic. From your testimony today, we know that at least it's either that the government or Cabinet, let me put it as Cabinet, had discussed the action points before your coming.
Before my appointment.
Yes, before your appointment.
Yeah.
Because from your appointment to date, none of the action points have been reported back to Cabinet, nor has Cabinet commented or spoken or discussed, deliberated on any of the action points.
Yeah. I've not seen.
Please,
not in my presence. Not so far.
Okay. I hand you over to the chair and the rest of the honorable members. I would ask that you indulge me to further enlighten you. It seems like this institution has been helpful to you to show you documents, and we would like to be more helpful. If the committee secretariat could show the witness MOJ 3Q2.
Yeah.
Please, can you just give us the addressee of that letter?
This is, I've already declared that we have this records. That is MOJ 3Q.
So
We have it.
you
Yes.
have it?
Yeah.
And this was shown to you by the clerk?
Yeah, he showed it to me, and then when I went to check, I indicated that it is in our records.
So it was only after the clerk showed you?
Yeah, he gave me the
proceeding.
reference here.
Okay, he gave you the reference?
Yeah.
I see. And you can confirm that this is a correspondence from Cabinet?
From Cabinet, yeah. No, Secretary to Cabinet.
And the Secretary to Cabinet?
Writing on behalf of the Secretary General. Then Secretary General, yeah.
All right. What was the nature of that document?
I have no idea.
What is this one? You have no idea?
No, I have no idea in what capacity he was writing this.
All right, I will just enlighten you and give you an idea, perhaps. You see, the secretary to the commission, by law, is meant to be appointed by the president. And of course, it's the president who would relieve him of his duties.
Yeah.
And from all indications, MOJ 3Q2 is relieving the secretary, the first secretary to the commission, of his duties. Of course, this directive, as you can see, came from the office of the president. Correct?
Yeah.
The office of the president. Your office. The office you write on behalf of. Of course, this was well before your time. I understand that. So this is a document that would ordinarily be in your custody. Correct?
Yes.
Sorry, speaking to the mic, kindly.
Sorry, yes.
And once our chief investigator, the clerk, had showed you these documents, you in fact confirmed that they were in your records.
Yeah.
That is after mentioning that these documents were not in your record, or that you have no...
I'm coming.
Of course, you may comment.
It's the same old file that I showed this. The same closed file, that's what I'm saying. After when I wrote indicating that we don't have the records.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he gave me this, we got this thing from the records.
The closed file that you did not bother to look at?
Not bother, not seen.
You did not see it?
Yeah.
And suddenly you saw it?
Yeah.
After, okay.
After a serious effort to see it.
I see.
Yeah.
35 days was not enough, but after, it's fine. You don't need to answer that.
No, it may be even more, because at the end of the day, it's the records, this thing that we trying to, it was really helpful when I got the reference. It was really helpful.
So, I'm curious to know, I'm looking at your submission here. In that file, did you find any other documents?
Yes. I found another document. In fact, the clerk was not in custody of that, regarding the secretary of the commission, the letter that he wrote inviting them for a meeting. I submitted that letter to them anyway.
Which letter are you referring to? Can you identify?
From the Ministry of Justice. It was from the Ministry of Justice.
So it was not from your file?
No. It's from our file.
Which file?
From our own file, the old file. But it was written by the secretary of the commission, the task force from the Ministry of Justice, not written from our office.
Can you guide me as to what, or rather guide the committee as to what document you're referring to?
The secretary of the task force. The secretary of the task force.
Just guide us to the document.
The secretary of the task force wrote that letter. I think it was CC to us.
Where is the letter?
I gave it to the investigators.
Do you have a copy?
No, I don't have the copy at the moment.
The witness be afforded a bunch so that he can identify his documents.
Let me see. Binga.
Sorry?
The one written by Binga, dated 4th August 2021. I brought this document here. He said to all addressees.
Yes. It's a letter invitation to a meeting of the Interministerial Task Force responsible for implementation of the JANNEH Commission report. This was actually in your record.
Yeah.
And you got these records
After my letter.
after your
Letter.
after your letter. And after being prompted. After being prompted by our chief investigator.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is the reference?
No, the chief investigator never had this.
Yes, but the chief investigator prompted you to other documents.
Yeah, exactly.
And all right, where is the reference to this document?
It's AG.
But I can understand that this document emanates from the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah.
And from my very meager knowledge of administration,
You can see it was received.
allow me. I made reference to the fact that in administration, the sending office, which in this case would be the Ministry of Justice, are the ones who would allocate a file number to it, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And in this case, you can see that on the top left corner of the document, there is a reference from the Ministry of Justice, correct?
Yes.
It was received by your office in 2021 and equally filed. Now, once it was filed, guide us through what reference you would put. How would you identify what file you would put it in?
On top, if you look at there, there is 146.
Fantastic. 146. And if you look at the other documents, you would see 82.
82, yeah.
You would see
Yeah.
79.
Yeah.
And you would see 146.
Yeah.
And they all relate to the JANNEH Commission.
Sorry, just give me what they say. After receiving it, what is the message there? What is the minute?
If you want to educate us on the minutes, please go on.
No, just look at the minute on top.
Please read it out.
Receive late.
What is the relevance of that to our...
Yeah.
What is the relevance to...
No, because now we are dealing with the entire letter.
Okay.
Yes. So the person who wrote that is the Secretary General.
All right. I would also direct you to the stamp at the bottom.
Bottom, yes.
What does it say?
Office of the President,
And then,
received 4th August 2021, State House, Banjul.
and the receipt that you made mention of, when was it endorsed?
Which one?
You alluded my mind just right now to the fact that the letter was received late.
Yes.
On the 6th of August 2021.
Yes.
And I asked what was the relevance of that. Perhaps you were trying to show us that it was received late.
Yes.
But in countering that, allow me, in countering that, it is in fact true that your office received it on the 4th of August 2021, not on the 6th. So if it was received late, that is inconsequential to this committee, it's irrelevant to this committee. It is a fact that is out of your internal lapses, perhaps.
No, come again. You see, the Secretary General said, received late, dated 6th August 2021, and the meeting is scheduled for the 5th of August. You can receive a letter today, and then probably it was not filed that very day. Or even if it is filed, it did not reach the action officer that very day.
So when was it received by the office?
It was received on the 4th, but maybe before it was filed and reached the action officer.
Yes, but my point is, Mr. Njie, with all due respect, I understand that. I see it on the face of the document.
Yes.
But that does not help us in our mandate.
We can proceed, no problem.
Thank you. What helps us on our mandate is what you identified as the numbering. It is true that all these documents, as you have mentioned, emanate from a single file, right? And that file is PRC, and then whatever number would be allocated to it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, you would see that the first document is numbered 82. The second document is numbered 79. The third document is numbered 146. Now, to my mind, this file perhaps is a file that relates to the JANNEH Commission, and that there are other correspondences relating to the JANNEH Commission, and you are very selective in what you brought before this committee. And I would urge that you take your time in your response. Because you need to appreciate, if I may offer some advice, you need to appreciate the seriousness of misleading a committee of the National Assembly about the existence or non-existence of records. And I would urge you to tread carefully. As you please.
Thank you for your advice. I'll take note of that. What I'm saying is, it cannot be only the JANNEH Commission file. It can be Commission's file. It can be different commissions.
Is it?
It can be a file for different commissions.
We're speaking in hypotheticals.
Yes.
What is it? What is it in fact?
You said, looking at the reference numbers.
Yes.
That is the folio numbers. We call them the folio numbers, 72, 82, 146, and all those things.
Yes.
These are folio numbers. You can see the gap between the folio numbers.
Indeed.
So it cannot be only, probably it cannot be only JANNEH Commission. Yeah, I'm not, probably, let's forget about that. It can only be, probably it can be different commissions.
Okay, I agree with you, probably it can be.
Different commissions,
agree with you.
Exactly.
Now,
So
since you saw the file, it is your file. What is it?
it's a commission file.
It's a commission file.
Yeah, what I've seen, yeah.
And it's not just a JANNEH Commission file.
I cannot just conclude it's a JANNEH Commission file.
What is it? You saw the file, Mr.
Yeah,
Njie.
but commission's file.
What commission's file? Is it a general commission file
commission,
or
yeah.
JANNEH Commission file?
General commission
TRRC file, local government commission file, or all of them?
No, general commission's file.
So all of them?
Yeah.
So then what you're saying is that there will be documents for all these commissions in that file?
Different communications, yeah.
Are there other documents relating to the JANNEH Commission in that file?
So far what I have seen, that's what I brought forward.
All right. Honorable Chair, I would apply that the entire file be produced to Parliament. If the file is closed and has a continuing file, and that file should also be produced. If the file has a predeceasing file dating 2017, 2016, that should also be produced. In effect, I am asking for a series of all files relating to the PR series.
Thank you. You take note of that, Mr. Njie?
Yeah, I'll take note of that, yes.
All right, thank you. So we will want you to produce that file, perhaps 72 hours?
72 hours. If the
72 hours within 3 days, that's possible. We can provide. Thank you.
If the office is too busy, the file can be brought to us immediately for inspection. In fact, I would apply that a 24-hour time be allocated rather than 72 hours for inspection. And then production can be 72 hours. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Njie.
Yeah, thank you.
Then we can work on that. 24 hours, if your office is busy, can you provide the file for investigators to
If
look at it? And
I
then
go
cancel?
today, if I have it, I'll bring it.
All right, that's fine. Thank you. We take note of that.
I would also ask the Secretariat to show the witness RS-35 if the office doesn't have, if you don't have it handy, you can use my copy. But if you have your copy, I would prefer that. So, of course, Mr. Njie, I would like to bring it to your notice that the manner in which this committee was set up, it sought for submission of documents, and this is, I'm making this statement out of pure courtesy. It sought for submission of documents from different institutions and different persons, and went a mile further to ask for documents to be sent anonymously. So we are in possession of several documents. In fact, we have extensive documentation emanating from your office. So don't be allayed. The committee is in fact in possession of a lot of documents emanating from your office and having been endorsed by the hand of your predecessors from your office. And of course, your office is an office of record and of continuity. Now, I would like you to look at RS 35, which is a submission by the Commission to this, by the custodians of the Commission's documents to this committee. And as you can see, RS 35 is addressed to the Office of the President, and copied is the Secretary General's office, an office which you substantially, or substantively rather, hold at this present moment. Out of courtesy, I and the committee would expect that RS 35 should be part of the documents that you submit, alongside other documents. This was a mark of courtesy, I will repeat, just to show you that we are in possession of several documents stemming beyond this. If time would allow me, I could show you several others, but I just wish to avow your mind to the fact that we have documents. And of course, RS 35 makes reference to a letter dated the 26th day of June 2018 on the first line.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Please read that first line.
Please refer to letter dated 26 June 2018, which we received yesterday, 26 June 2018 at 4:25 p.m.
It in fact says, please refer to your letter.
Your letter, yeah.
And your letter meaning the letter from the Office of the President. So now we are aware that there is a letter dated the 26th day of June 2018 addressed to the Commission of Inquiry from State House.
State House, yeah. So
of course,
this one will help, yeah.
I need not say that we expect that letter. And every single letter in the possession of the Office of the President.
No, be rest assured, as I said, like for example, this letter. It's easier for me to trace this letter simply because we quoting a date. But the rest of the letters that you're talking about, if I don't have this, I would still check.
Okay, let me quote for you a date further.
Yeah.
We want letters, correspondences, documents from 2016 to date. I've given you a date, time period, 2016 to date in relation to the JANNEH Commission. So I've helped you further and given you a date. So we expect those documents?
On the JANNEH Commission.
At this point, I would hand you over to the Honorable Chair and the Honorable Members.
Thank you so much, Council. Mr. Njie, first of all, I have to come with a concluding statement before we are done. But I'm sure my colleagues will have questions for you. But when you were responding to Council, something came to my mind with regards to the documents that you provided this morning. And you mentioned that those documents are found in a private file.
Confidential.
Confidential file.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is confidential about those documents, because the JANNEH Commission has been doing public hearings and documents were submitted to the JANNEH Commission for the public to see, not so. So anything that emanates from the JANNEH Commission and what the cabinet conclude on should also be public as well. Why were they put in a private file?
You know, the PRC file, that is the confidential file, in the offices, it's not like the main office, records office. You know, the main records office, the files keep going almost to every official within the office. Sometimes one permanent secretary, sometimes another permanent secretary, sometimes another senior engineer officers and all those, that's how it rotates. But when it comes to PRC file, when it comes to PRC, it's only the senior personnel that deals with it and then keep it in record so that it will not be misplaced.
So that means there is something confidential about the documents? The
documents, and also is for records, proper record keeping.
But even if it should be proper record keeping, we expect the cabinet secretary, the office of the cabinet secretary, to have a separate folder or a file that would, you know, record the files from the JANNEH Commission and what the committee, what the cabinet concluded on.
Yeah, that would have helped me if I have found it there. You would not have to look for all these letters, but all the one that he's talking about.
Would you say it is
not there?
Is it normal that these documents are put in a PR file?
PRC files, yeah.
Is it normal?
Yeah, it's normal.
It's normal?
It's normal, yeah. PRC files, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, PRC files.
And also with regards to the letter that you sent to the committee, when I saw the letter, I was not impressed at all, because I think that was not supposed to be the communication from an office that should lead what this committee is doing in this country.
No,
I don't think you should have concluded on that letter. But before I come to that, I'll come with a concluding statement on that. I'll allow my colleagues to ask questions if they have, and then I will come with that.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Mr. Njie. Mr. Njie, on your statement dated the 16th, 2025, on your second paragraph,
yeah, fine.
Can you please read for me, please?
2016. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I have a lot of papers with me here. Sorry. The person doesn't know where I am.
You don't see it?
So, now just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
You have? No, I have one.
You say you don't see it?
I have all my papers.
There's letter, his letter, on the 16th.
That is your response to the summons sent to you.
Yeah,
I think that's the one he's referencing.
No, I have a copy. I just read it a few minutes ago. Yeah. Sorry, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, can you please read it for me, please?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about my report.
It's okay. Yeah.
Do you have the letter, Mr.?
Yeah, you're with Channel, yeah. Yeah, I'm just.
Yes, sir.
Can you read it for me, please?
I wish to respectfully inform the committee that the Cabinet Office does not maintain specific record regarding the sales or disposal of the assets in question.
Mr. Njie, is that correct?
We don't have it.
You don't have any records?
No. The nature of the government proceeding, primarily policy and decision on government business. We don't have records of that.
Mr. Njie, coming back to the same statement on the second page. The first statement, second page. Did you see it?
Second page.
Yes, can you please read it for me?
Second paragraph.
Yes, the second paragraph, the first paragraph was second page.
Last but one. The second page.
No, give me the above. Where is
Given the above, I respectfully seek the committee's indulgence to display in my personal appearance before the committee. While respectfully requesting to be excused from the personal appearance, I wish to emphasize the current administration.
But just stop there.
Okay.
Why were you requesting for this?
Because I don't have the records that we are asking for when I did not see it.
But currently you have it.
Yeah. So it's irrelevant.
Mr. Njie, can you please tell me the responsibility of your office? What is your office responsibility?
Wow. As Cabinet or Secretary General?
Both. As
sorry.
You are currently serving both.
Sorry, if I mention Secretary General, I can.
You're currently serving both now.
Yeah. Okay, let me just give you a brief.
Just a brief.
Basically, at the moment, we are responsible for taking minutes of cabinet meetings, all the cabinet proceedings. I am responsible for taking the minutes.
Mr. Njie, based on the question that we were asked by the lead counsel with regards to correspondence between you and the parliament, with regards to the summons sent to you, and according to you, you did not receive it until you were sent a text message.
Can you turn off your mic? Yes. Can you turn off that mic so we?
Until you were sent a text message from the clerk of the National Assembly, in which you asked your guys to cite and then provide you with that letter. It took them a while before seeing it. Is that normal, Mr. Njie?
It's not normal. It's not normal. Obviously, if a letter is sent to the office, you should be able to see it.
Within a short possible time?
It is short period.
So what was the reason behind this?
I think that's what I was saying because I was in Hajj. When I came,
I agree you were away.
Yeah, I was away.
But the moment you were contacted, you called the office.
Yeah.
To provide you with that letter.
Not when I was. It was when I returned.
When you returned?
Yeah, it was when I returned. He said he asked me. He said you are supposed to appear before the committee. I said which committee? He said the National Assembly. I said no, I have not seen any letter. Then he sent it to me. I said I will endeavor to attend. So that was the time I started searching all these documents. When I did not see it, I wrote the letter.
So yeah, an office like your office, the one given the responsibility to taking minutes and if possible to keep a lot of files for the government. It took it a while for you to cite a document from National Assembly in a short period of time. A short period of time. Is that clearly well, Mr. Njie?
No, I don't know whether. What do you mean? Sorry, can you come back? Why citing for one paper from the National Assembly?
You were sent a letter to appear. You were summoned to appear. According to you, we are all here. And when you were informed, you tasked your guys to provide a letter for you. Was that correct?
Yeah.
How long did it take?
You know, the moment you speak, how do you call the clerk sent it to me, when I requested for it, they got me the letter straight away.
The same day?
Yeah.
The same day?
The same day, yeah, obviously.
Mr. Njie, Mr. Njie, my question to you, what was your office role? You in JANNEH Commission, what was your role in JANNEH Commission of your office?
I have no idea. I don't know what capacity he was playing at that time. I have no idea.
When you came, you have started seeing some files or letters correspondence coming from different areas.
No, but not regarding JANNEH Commission.
I said about what?
No, those ones are different. Sorry. Those ones are different. But it's not the JANNEH Commission. I have not received anything on JANNEH Commission.
And you have no idea about the JANNEH Commission when you came into your office? Nothing comes from the JANNEH Commission with regards to your office?
The JANNEH Commission is when I received the letter from this place, I started searching on the JANNEH Commission.
What were you searching?
Searching for the letters that they requested for.
And they were there?
They were there.
You have started seeing them?
So yeah.
So that shows that your office was involved?
No. It's not like coming directly from my office. This is cabinet office. Yeah, I got it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is from the PRC. That is a different records office. Going to the office.
Going to who? Address to who? Address to your office?
No, not address to my office. Not address to my office. Not address to my office.
So the file that you are referring to was a confidential file?
Yeah.
It was meant for what? For what?
I saw a lot of communication. It's just to keep records.
Keep records of what?
Records of all the letters that are coming.
But given was there any letter from the JANNEH Commission?
Yes, I've seen. That's what I submitted.
So this one I'm referring to, Mr. Njie. You have seen letters coming from the JANNEH Commission, and they were in that file.
I know. When you say see letters coming from JANNEH Commission, I think we can just say letters that came from the JANNEH Commission that I saw in the file.
It's the same, Mr. Njie. These are letters from the JANNEH Commission that you saw in the file.
Yes, but it's not like it was.
And they were on your custody in your office.
No, not under my custody.
On whose custody?
That's what I'm saying. It's from a different records office, which I was able to retrieve.
Who is in control of that office?
That is the confidential officer.
Who controls that office? Is
under who? That is the PA.
It's under who?
PA to the president.
It's under whose office?
It's office of the president.
Office of the president.
Yeah.
And you are what is your responsibility?
My responsibility is secretary of cabinet, responsible for cabinet.
And also the president is on the cabinet, isn't it?
And I don't think you regard it like obviously the president is the chair of the cabinet.
And then who is the secretary to that? I think you are keeping the course. You are 1 3 minutes when they meet.
No, but not this one. Not on this one.
Mr. Njie, I mean, I think we want to clear one thing here. That's why I'm asking these questions to you. When it comes to records keeping, when it comes to filing, I think your office is responsible.
What we are responsible, we keep it.
But this one also was part of your office to keep.
Yes, but what I'm saying is this was not part of the cabinet files that I have.
Mr. Njie, I think we have a problem here and you need to help us, Mr. Njie, because it's like, according to the lead counsel, we put the questions to you. You said you're not wasting our time, but it seems there's something that you are hiding to the committee. Mr. Njie, we are here for a walk, and we are all in together. We are not here to disturb or reach on anyone. We need the truth. And you, in your office, there were requests that were made to you for you to submit. And according to your statements, it's like those things are with you. But at the initial stage, you see they were not there. So what is the problem?
I think we cleared that. When I searched, we did not see. When I searched, we saw. Then now I'm able to provide.
So you agree with me that this is your responsibility of your office now? That is, it's under the question of your office?
No, Honorable, just take this right. When I came, I have not seen anything on JANNEH Commission. It is when you people wrote to me, I started knowing there are issues regarding the JANNEH Commission. And then I started searching. For me personally, even if you have written to indicate that or request that these are the information on JANNEH Commission, I am curious to see this. Not only for the committee, because I know how important this committee is. You are not here for yourself as a committee member. You are here for the country. And then the people of this country need to know it. And then whoever, wherever you are, you need to provide the information if you have it. The lead counsel said it here. Probably the tone of my letter would have said, excuse me, let me look for the information. You understand? But that was not the case. What I have not seen, because why I wrote that is simply because I said I don't want to waste your time. But since it is not my issue, that one we put it aside. So, but the issue is, for me, it was not. It's not like I'm hiding anything. Because if I hide anything, for me, I want it.
So now you have started seeing them now?
Yeah, I've started seeing them, and then I'll provide the information.
And you will continue searching?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Chair,
if I have it, I'll definitely provide it.
Thank you.
Because this is also my concern.
Mr. Njie, your office, when I say your office, I mean the current office you are now occupying, which formerly used to be the office of the Secretary General, was written to on the 28th of July 2017. So, yes, there's a letter addressed to your office, Secretary General's office.
Sorry.
And you say you are comfortable with numbering. This is called COM/CL/volume 1009. That's an indication. That's an indication that there are a series of letters and documents sent to your office. And this particular letter is first introducing the appointment of the lead counsel to the JANNEH Commission, and they ask the following informations from your office, which is the names and contacts of all persons who have served as Secretary General, Secretary to Cabinet, Chief of Protocols from 22nd July to 1994. So, and then also they ask the remuneration including salaries, allowances, gratuities, and so on of the former president and the wife, and a bank account. So these documents were supposed to be produced by your office. Have you produced those documents?
No, you said 1994.
Yeah, the letter is sent on the 20th July 2017, but it's asking for these details from your office.
No, I have not seen that letter regarding
Commission's investigations, that is JANNEH Commission. They're asking for the names and contacts of all persons who have served as Secretary General.
Was it? Sorry, I don't know whether I have the right to ask you. Was it provided? Because I have not seen that. Were the names and the contact details provided?
No, it was meant for your office to provide that.
I have not seen it.
Then this should be among the documents that you should look for and produce it.
There are contacts.
So I would
names and contacts of the.
Maybe if I give you the reference number of the letter, you can search for the number.
No. Where is it coming from?
It's coming from the JANNEH Commission.
Yeah.
He doesn't have these documents, number 1 to 8. You don't have this.
No,
but this particular letter has a reference number, which is addressed to your office.
Yeah, I was just talking to the lead counsel. If it is a reference number from our office.
Chair, if I can suggest that perhaps we have suggested enough documents to the witness. We trust the witness would submit every single document. We would also cross-reference with the documents we have to confirm that. We have, if I may say, if we don't keep, alluding to documents that are on our record, just so that for the purposes of cross-referencing, we trust that the witness would submit the entirety of the file.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Chair, Mr. Witness, Mr. Njie. Yes, thank you for coming. I would like to start with the addendum of your statement, which is the last number 8, for the fact that the evidence you adduced before this committee, it seems very scary. Scary in a sense, the Office of the Secretary General do not seem to be in a position to produce this committee with relevant documents that can ease our work, not only to ease our work, but also to promote transparency and accountability, as you have alluded in your statement. Will it be correct to say the Office of the Secretary to Cabinet and Civil Service does not seem to be relevant to the government? Looking at the evidence you shared with us in terms of not being in a position to share documents with us.
Thank you very much for that question. I think I don't know whether there is any establishment or a system without someone spearheading it. It applies to every institution. It's just like this committee, you have a chairman. There is no way that it is irrelevant to have Secretary to Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service in a system. I, as an individual, I am the head of the institution. I'm the Secretary to Cabinet and Head of it with humility. But also, you have people that you work with who are 24 hours at any time involved in the job. The records we took in now, if it was during my time, I don't think it will take you even more than 2 hours for me to provide it. Because I am there, not for myself. I am there for the Gambian people and every institution that is working in the government. Because that's how it works. Government have pillars. And it is this kind of thing that will help government to function. Because transparency is very, very important. Whatever I do, at where I am at my level, I ensure the young people, they understand how the system works and what the information that they are in. So the records is not at my disposal unless when I search and I'm assisted to get those records. They are not particularly or specifically at the records at the how do you call it at the Secretary to Cabinet's office. That's what I'm concluding now. It's specifically there.
Mr. Njie, you can stop there. You said the records are not specifically at the office of the Secretary to Cabinet.
This cabinet, yes.
Now, where do you think these documents or relevant information should be if this shouldn't be at the office of the Secretary to the Cabinet?
On this matter, it is from the Ministry of Justice because they are the people chairing this. So I'll advise that that's why you can get more information. The lead counsel asked something very important, that is with regard to the communications, which we will trace, you know, page by page. Page by page. But all this information in the JANNEH Commission, it was not during my time. Anything that I'm bringing here, I have to search and give it to you. Because hiding it or concealing it doesn't help. What do you like out of it?
Mr. Njie, will it be correct in a situation where some of these records should be with the Ministry of Justice? Will it be correct for the Ministry of Justice to be sending correspondence or receiving correspondence from other institutions in relation to the JANNEH Commission without copying the office of the Secretary to Cabinet?
No, you don't copy Secretary to Cabinet. I think during that time, you have the Secretary General. I think we ironed it out.
Let's say the office.
The office.
Yes.
But there was no way you as a Secretary to Cabinet, you can be privy to that kind of thing. You can see it, obviously, probably in one of the files, but it's not like it will be copied to you. I have no idea what is the capacity, or in what capacity has the former Secretary to Cabinet was involved in this. I have no idea.
Mr. Njie, let's take it this way, yeah? Let's forget about what the former Secretary have done or what you have done as the current Secretary to Cabinet. Let's look at the whole thing in respect to the role and responsibility of the office. And as such, will it be proper for Ministry of Justice to be corresponding on issues in relation to the JANNEH Commission without copying the relevant institutions or offices, like your office?
It depends on how they handle it. They were the chair, I have no idea.
No, I'm just, it's not about it depends on how they handle it.
It depends on
It's about how governance work.
Yes.
But so as the head of that office, I would expect you to guide us through how governance work in terms of correspondence, in terms of record keeping, and in terms of retrieving information from that office.
If the Ministry of Justice writes to the Office of the President, obviously there are people who will be able to see it when it is addressed to them. That is either myself or Chief of Staff. Me, I just came in, I have not seen it, I have not seen any record, and then I'm pursuing to see records and then provide it for you.
Mr. Njie, I'm talking about the normal practice in government institutions.
You know, government institutions, there are letters that you can, but there are things that are strictly confidential.
Mr. Njie, let's take it this way, a letter written to the office of the President. Who should be the receiver or the custodian of such a document in terms of keeping the records?
It depends. You have three offices. My cabinet office is there. You have the main records office, and I also said you have the main office that is responsible for the confidential letters. If a letter is copied to us, probably at the moment I am speaking, the then is Secretary General. If it is copied to the Secretary General either minute it or he assigns somebody to me. So when she minute it or assign to somebody, if it is not assigned to me, I will not know.
Mr. Njie, who supervised these three offices? The record office, your office, and the other office you were referring to. Who supervised them? Under whose purview are these three offices? Both then and now.
Then is Secretary General. Now, you know, when letters are sent, they are put in a folder. Either myself or the Chief of Staff see it. You minute it to an official.
My question is, who supervises these three offices?
Both of us. If you say board of myself as head of the civil service.
And who?
Yes, chief of staff also supervise.
Then how can this relevant information escape your office?
That's a very good question. I cannot explain that. What I said, when I came, I requested the clerk called me, and then I was able to get it. So I expressed apologies why it was late, and then we take it for. I'm really sorry why it was late, to be frank with you, but I received it late. Yeah. Whether I was absent because that's why I did not receive it, but that was what I received, and I took action on that basis. My apologies anyway.
Yeah, I think the chair will take charge of that, whether apologies are accepted here or not, but I'm not too sure if apologies are really accepted here, considering our functions. Mr. Njie, I want us to look at the addendum on number 8. And contrast it to MOJ 3Q2. Looking at MOJ 3Q2, it was a letter that emerged from your office, I would say, from the office of the Secretary General, that is now aligned to the office of the Cabinet. And you said in your statement that, I read here with your permission, finally, that my office has no copy of the final report of the Interministerial Task Force, right? And on MOJ 3Q2, there is this letter instructing for the position of a Secretary General to the Commission to be appointed. 3Q2. That is to say, position as Secretary General to the Commission. The letter emerged from the office of the Secretary General to Cabinet. And in your statement, you said that the final report of the Ministerial Task Force was nowhere to be found. If you have the powers, if you have the authority to appoint someone to the office of the Secretary General to the Commission.
Sorry, position as Secretary to Cabinet, Secretary to the Commission.
Secretary to the Commission.
Yes.
Which was dated 10 July 2018.
Yes.
I just want to contrast that to the statement you gave. Right? Meaning, the appointment of the Secretary to the Commission emerged from the office of the President through the Secretary General. If you look at 3Q2, are you with me?
I think sometimes I always want to quote the council earlier. I don't want to draw us back to that. It's a position as Secretary, because this letter should not have this caption. I don't know what capacity, because if you are relieving somebody, obviously the caption should be talking about relieving. If you look at the entire body of the letter, it's talking about relief.
Okay, you know, Mr. Njie, it still boils down to the same thing. You said it that you want the young people to know the truth, right? So it boils down to say that whatever work the office of the Secretary General was doing, we are almost completely wrong, from wrong captions to letters that are not even signed for public consumption. So that tells that the work that the office of the Secretary General to Cabinet were doing was just nothing that was useful. Or you have something different?
No, I told you actually. Because what I've seen here...
No, what you have seen, you know, the caption of the letter, Mr. Njie, and the content of the letter are two different things.
Yeah, but I don't know...
And it is coming from the highest office. Yeah. Because the office of the Secretary General is almost the highest office, representing the office of the President. So if such letters are emerging from that particular office. What are you telling the public? What are you telling Gambians?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm saying, I don't know what capacity has he written this. What was his position? What was his responsibility? I'm not sure whether it's the Secretary General who instructed him or whether he...
This letter, what I saw at the end is, it is signed for the Secretary General, meaning it comes from the Secretary General, whether he was the author or not, but there are clear indications that it emerged from the office of the Secretary General.
Yeah.
Wrong or right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you write for me, on my behalf, it's my authority.
Good.
Except if I don't see it, and except if it is fraudulent.
Mr. Njie, what will be your take for not having the report, the final report of the Ministerial Task Force Committee?
No, I have.
That was, you have it?
That was?
Because the Ministerial Task Force Committee was instituted by the Office of the President on the pretext that there were loopholes from the JANNEH Commission. So in order to correct those issues led to the establishment of the Ministerial Task Force. So would it be right for that Ministerial Task Force that was tasked to come and put things in order that were wrong by the JANNEH Commission not being able to submit a comprehensive and complete report to the executive?
No, as I said earlier, this report is there already. I saw it in our records.
When do you see it?
Yeah, that is the, how do you call it, the second day when I came here, I was given the same report. I cross-checked, I saw it. The thing that we were talking about in the morning was the signatures.
You know,
the report is there already.
Mr. Njie, you know the signature is one thing. I'm looking at your own statement. The addendum I'm referring to. You look at number 8. Maybe you can read it and offer yourself with what you wrote.
I'm fine with it. You can go ahead. Yes.
I read.
If you don't mind, I can read.
Yes.
Well, I replied that my office has no copy of the final report of the Interministerial Task Force. I have searched thoroughly but found no other documents or minutes beyond those I have already mentioned.
Okay, Mr. Njie.
Nonetheless, I remain committed to following up and provide any relevant document should their editor come to light.
Mr. Njie, in your own statement, you said you have not found any of these reports. How were you able to get that report that you shared with the committee? How do you get it and where do you get it?
That's what I'm saying. When I was here in the second day, I got the report. Then when I went, I searched and I got the report. So it's not like I got everything the same day.
Mr. Njie, are you telling this committee that you were only able to get this report from the National Assembly, not even from your office?
The first time, yeah, I got it from the National Assembly.
You got it from the National Assembly.
Yeah, so,
I only hope you don't photocopy the report you get from the National Assembly to use as your office report.
If it is the report that I take from the National Assembly, if I lie on that perspective, I think my children will not forgive me.
Mr. Njie, I will never allege that you are lying before us.
No, but
you know, in our own culture.
Nobody allege. You said if
I didn't allege. Oh. I ask a question in order to get a clarity. Instead, I think here you are alleging me.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just administering a question and I need clarity to the effect.
No, if actually it is in the record. It is in the record.
Let me even repeat, Mr. Njie.
No, let me tell you, Honorable, it is in the report, it's in the file, that's why I got it. I cross-referenced and got it there and then brought a copy from our office.
Okay, you get it from a file.
Yes.
So meaning there is an existing file in your office that has all this correspondence.
This file is very interesting here. But the issue is, I saw most of them from that file.
Mr. Njie, just answer my question. Is it correct to say you have every other information that is connected to the JANNEH Commission.
No,
in your office.
No, I cannot say that. I'm sorry, but I don't think that I can just conclusively say I have every record in the JANNEH Commission in our office.
Mr. Njie.
But whatever I have, I'll provide it. That's what I found there.
Mr. Njie. Mr. Njie.
Yes, please.
Let's be a bit frank here. Frank in a sense. You, Mr. Njie, stated in your statement that you have no record, not even the report of the Ministerial Task Force. Yeah? You went to your office, you came back with the report of the Ministerial Task Force.
Yeah.
Huh? Is that not a signal to say the information that we are seeking for are all in your office, but you are not willing to share it with us?
Astaghfirullah. No, it doesn't work like that.
How does it work?
What I'm saying is, the file that we got is not particularly in my office. It's a closed file in a different records office. So you are able to trace it. They really helped me to get this.
Mr. Njie, let's take it easy, please. Yeah. You said the file you found, that particular document, was not in your office, but in the records officer's office. Who supervised the work of the record officer, and to who does he report to?
I don't know how many times will I respond to this myself.
Yourself? How is it possible that you were not privileged to this document if that individual is reporting to you?
No, it's not like not being privileged. You know, it depends on when the questions were raised or the letter was received. It was received for a long time, obviously. But myself, I have never seen something on JANNEH Commission till when this thing is raised. I, in particular, I am interested in all the information regarding the JANNEH Commission. That is why I search for it emphatically to ensure that I provide you with the information.
Mr. Njie, is it correct to say that without the establishment of this special select committee, any information related to the JANNEH Commission that were sent to your office, the public wouldn't be privileged to know? Because you are telling us that you just started searching some of these files when this committee was instituted.
I don't know what will the legal people advise me if I am to reveal any confidential files, whether I have the right, whether I can do that. I think that one, it depends on the Ministry of Justice, how we can release, documents that have been constituted by the executive.
Mr. Njie, go back to your legal team. See.
No, not my legal team. I say I don't know what legal people will say about it. Maybe I'll have to find out from the council here, maybe later privately.
No, with this committee, Mr. Njie, being it a confidential file or an open file, we should be privileged to all. There is nothing that you should hide from us, or there shouldn't be like
there is
selective.
No, there is nothing we can hide from you.
Yes, so
I don't think that is a go area.
Okay.
There is no way we can hide information from you, because it helps you and help us.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Njie, if I could just guide the process and the thought pattern of the questions. If we could go to the Constitution, section 1192. Perhaps you can read it or ask the witness to read it, and then you can proceed with your questions.
Yes, 1192, privileges of witnesses, right? Here, with your permission. Where the president or any member of cabinet certifies that the disclosure of contents of any document sought by the National Assembly or a committee of the National Assembly will be injurious to the public interest or prejudicial to the security of the state, the National Assembly or such committee shall only give consideration to such document to private and under such conditions as will prevent the disclosure of
the contents of such documents outside the National Assembly or the committees as the case may be, and shall not publish the document or its content. So I think I get that, and he should also get that. But in this situation, are we in such a situation?
Well, from the manner of deliberations, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the trend was that there is a particular document that may be confidential, and he sought whether the legal people could advise. And
as I said earlier, we can still allow him to go back, seek for legal advice. Definitely. But again,
hidden from Parliament.
Exactly. That's the conclusion. That's my point.
No, I'm not talking about the Parliament. I think he was talking about the general public, like individuals and all that. That is why I said, he said whether the citizens are entitled to see it. That is why I was saying this thing need to be brought to the attention of legal people. For Parliament, obviously we are all together. Okay. I don't think that we can hide from each other. Obviously, we are elected by the people. We are also a civil servant. We have to be working hand in gloves. Mm-hmm.
Can we look at the addendum number 3? The report you have before you, that is the task force report. Is it a signed document, if I may ask?
No.
No. Officially, will that document be authentic for one to accept as an evidence?
That's a very relevant document, a relevant question, because if you look at number 3, what I indicated, I also contacted, because I was asking those who were part of it. If you look at it, he said she was only responsible for the gardens, and she cannot remember signing the document. I know this is probably, maybe you have to contact the Ministry of Justice, since that was the chair. I have no clue, neither any idea why the document was not signed, whether it is authentic or not authentic. It depends on the Ministry of Justice what they have.
Mr. Njie, I wouldn't really ask the Ministry of Justice this question, but you, for the fact that it forms part of your statement.
Yes.
So as such, you are the right person to give us these answers. And I repeat, Mr. Njie, is it right for one to accept an official document or report that is not signed by relevant authorities?
If you as head of the civil service, you send me a letter that is not, I'll send it back to you.
So meaning we should quash that document, right?
I'm not saying you squash it, but you find out how you get it, how you can get information regarding it.
We will do exactly the same like we used to do with documents that are not signed and sent to your office.
No, you list with the Ministry of Justice.
No, I wouldn't list with the Ministry of Justice. Don't worry about that. We know what to do, Mr. Njie. Sorry, the chair. It should be a final one. You know, Mr. Njie created a lot of gaps, so allow us to flow. Please.
No, it's fine. I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Counsel, just a quick one. Just if in case it was one of the documents you requested for, let me not make a repetition. That is the way book. Do you request for it?
No, but we should.
I want to request that Mr. Njie tender the way book before this committee within the next 72 hours, if it will be permitted.
Yeah, Counsel, I think we requested for the file where he found us the
where he extracted this information.
Yes, that's the PR/C series file.
Would that be enough without the way book?
I would want to agree with Honorable the Honorable Member for Janjambure that
for us to get the way book
might be
compare. Okay,
indeed
that's fine.
Important.
Mr. Njie?
I'm not just limited to those two, but any other.
I understand.
Document.
Yeah.
A final one, Mr. Njie.
Mr. Njie,
Yes, please.
it seems that 95% or 99% of your office work wasn't carried out in relation to the JANNEH Commission. Is this right or not?
Sorry, I have no idea about that. I don't know in what capacity he was handling that.
Not in what capacity he was handling it, including in what capacity were you equally handling some of these things?
No, I have no idea.
Because office is continuity.
It's continuity, I'm aware.
So as such, will you agree that, or will you agree to the fact that 95% or 99% of work related to the JANNEH Commission was not given heed to by your office?
I can't tell that. I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
How can you measure?
How do you measure the 99?
Oh, well, for me, the way I measure it is, you almost came here with empty hands.
Yeah, because I
really empty hands.
Yeah, because I'm empty hand in this because I was not part of it.
No, Mr. Njie.
So for me,
no, let me just say this, please. Let it not be I was not part of it. I'm talking about the office now.
I agree with you.
You agree that 99% of the work that was supposed to be done by your office in connection to the JANNEH Commission was ignored blatantly.
I cannot tell whether it was ignored.
What can you tell us?
I can't tell you anything regarding the JANNEH Commission before I came. Before the office came.
But you can tell this committee that your office have not done almost nothing in relation to the JANNEH Commission.
It depends on how it was handled with the office. I cannot tell, to be frank with you.
No, Mr. Njie, you should be able to tell us.
No.
Now let me tell you this, Mr. Njie.
Today, if you tell me anything that is under my purview, or that's something that has been established within this period, I should be able to tell you something.
Mr. Njie, is very, very simple. It doesn't have to be whether you were in the office or not. As long as you are the one occupying that office today.
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm aware, yeah.
You should be responsible. And the reason why I said 99 or 95% of the work that were supposed to be done by the JANNEH Commission was neglected or not even been done, I drive it from the summon sent to you. Because the summon sent to you has specific requests, over 7 requests. How many of these requests have you even fulfilled?
No. You know, this
that will also translate. No, wait, Mr. Njie, wait, calm down. That will also translate the amount of work your office have done.
No, let me help you here again. If you look at the commission, the task force members, is chaired by the Minister of Justice, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. And all those meetings are not held at the office of the President or neither under the Cabinet. It's held at the Ministry of Justice. So obviously, this information, except if it is tabled at Cabinet, you will not be able to know. Because I'm not part, either me or the previous one, or the office, I can say Cabinet office, was not part of that committee. That's how you need to understand.
Mr. Njie, I don't think as if I don't understand. I do.
No, you know,
I do.
I don't
the
know.
problem here, no, just wait, Mr. Njie, we will get there. My problem here is, right? My problem is, for example, looking at the summon in relation to the documents you are asked to produce. One was minutes of meeting of the cabinet establishing the ministerial committee in relation to the commission. So to start with, before initiating that ministerial task force, there must be a meeting at the level of the cabinet. If you cannot provide us minutes of that meeting, then I don't think in fact we can have a base to start with.
Council, I think that the problem is, Council asked this question. I say it is here. I'm not sure whether you are also part of what we are talking about. He asked these questions. I said the minutes are here. The establishment of the committee.
It's here.
It's right?
Exactly.
The minutes, right?
Yeah. All right, Mr. Njie, we will leave the rest until you come back because I'm pretty sure you will come back. Thank you.
I'll always provide information.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member, can you use the mic here quickly?
Thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you very much, Mr. Njie, for coming and answering these questions. Now, I just want to, Mr. Chairman, if you permit me, to inform Mr. Njie about the seriousness of this committee and also the power that we can have.
Yeah.
By referring to Section 109 of the Constitution, in particular subsection 1, which is the committees of the National Assembly. Now, if you look at subsection 3, it's stating for the purpose of effectively performing its functions, each of the committees shall have the powers and the rights and privileges as are vested in the High Court in trial with respect to A, enforcing the attendance of witnesses, B, compelling the production of documents, and C, the use of commission or request to examine witnesses abroad. Then you continue also further. That's section 110 of the Constitution, which is the contempt of the National Assembly. That's any act or omission which obstructs or impedes the National Assembly in the performance of its functions, or which obstructs or impedes any member or officer of the National Assembly in the discharge of his or her duties or affronts the dignity of the National Assembly, shall be a contempt of the National Assembly, and the section continues. Now, this clearly shows the powers and also the seriousness or the gravity on which the Constitution actually has given this special select committee. Now, if you look at the first response from Mr. Njie, from I don't have anything, to an addendum, to a statement, to an addendum. So there's a likelihood that we may expect to get another addendum of your statement. So for me, it shows the lack of seriousness, and above all, not also consulting with your colleagues, because as the head of the civil service, you have direct contact with all the ministries, all of them, from the minister's permanent secretary up, whether it's by email or by telephone or by WhatsApp, you have. Even if you don't have information that the parliament is asking for, I think for me, it makes a lot of sense for you to consult, not to refer the National Assembly as the head of the civil service. Now, if the time was short, I can understand, like Council has said, you could have requested for an extension. But for me in particular, I think you should have gone further to consult with your colleagues at all the ministries to get what you're looking for, not referring us to go to the Minister of Justice. If you want to, we can go there and get what we want. We know that. Now, if I go on the issue of the files, I just want to confirm with you whether you receive handing over notes from your predecessor as the Secretary to Cabinet and also the head of the civil service, whether you've received handing over notes and you've gone through all of them. That's the first question I have. Now, if you do, in this handing over, were there any files that were open, which means a file has not been closed yet? Because the issue related to the JANNEH Commission, I will assume a file must have been open from between 2018 or 2019 probably. And for that file to remain open until now, I may find it very difficult to believe. So essentially, what I'm asking for, like, when you received the handover note from your predecessor, were there any files that were open relating to the JANNEH Commission? Mr. Chairman.
Oh, thank you once again, Honorable, for those concerned. You know, not only the National Assembly, but when you give somebody responsibility, I don't know how our normal adage say, you don't, how do you call it? You cannot give somebody responsibility and sabotage the person. You do that, you are sabotaging yourself. And then you will not have results. this commission or committee, as I said earlier, it helps all of us. We own the Constitution. We implement what is in the Constitution. So me sitting here, or somebody at that level, disrespecting what is in the Constitution, or a committee formed in accordance with what is in the Constitution, I think that would be the biggest embarrassment that I would never take, and I would not tolerate it. Even if someone is here and then I see the person all acting that way, I will call the person as head of the civil service and tell them, look, don't mess around with us. I am proud of your work. I love and I respect what you do, and respect all your inquiries. If I have the opportunity where I am, I wish everything was at my disposal. If everything was at my disposal, it will not even take you 24 hours to get the information. So I think that is not something I even think about. Because we are the people, all of us, including all of us, we make the laws, and we are the people who implement it. So I will appreciate if you don't think like I'm trying to disrespect because of the communication. Let deal with that information. I think if anybody have misconception, that is regrettable on my side. But forging ahead. That is why the addendum that you were talking about, it's not like I attended the first and then after when I went, I attended the second day. The second day is what they call the addendum. When I came the second day for the investigation, that is why they call it the addendum. It was 2 days that I have been appearing here with the investigators. Regarding the handing over note. The handing over note, if you want, I can also provide that for you, but there is nowhere in the handing over note that talks about administrative issues like files. It's not there. It's not there. So obviously, the JANNEH Commission was not there. I used to follow it up, but I was aware that it's in the UK. But apart from that, I have issues like this been compiled. I have not seen it. And this request, as I said, is important to me, because obviously it makes me look for more info. Even the question that I ask here, that I don't have, is important to me.
Okay.
I'll check.
All right.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chairman,
we are on the same wavelength.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Then it seems we can confirm that on the official handing over to Mr. Njie, there was no issue that was mentioned of the JANNEH Commission.
No.
So essentially, we can say that the file related to JANNEH Commission was closed at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, if that's the case, then.
Sorry, I don't want to say it was closed at that time, but I have not seen it because I don't.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Because see, the thing is,
sometimes
because the time of the JANNEH Commission, particularly when the white paper was done, and until you took over around 2023, 2024, it may be really inconceivable to have a file that is still open when the matter has already been put aside. But then the question is, why were you looking for those files in probably in a wrong area? Because let me just come. Because to me it seems you were looking for a needle in a haystack. Because these files most likely will have been closed, and you have closed files, based on your explanations. So why were you not looking in the closed files where the issues have already been decided on what next to do?
No, what happened is, when you ask for cabinet office, when you ask for information, we try to look at our cabinet conclusions. which is compiled and bind. So it's not like you will think it will be in an open file. This is my first time to deal with this kind of situation, but I never thought such a thing also will be, since it was referred to the Cabinet Office, it should be within the Cabinet Office, not in outside or in a different records office. That is the basic. That is the reason why I was just looking at within the Cabinet Office, the one that we bind. I'll give you a copy. I'll show you a copy how we do things, because those are the ones that the conclusions are the one that we send to respective ministries. We call them the cabinet. I would have known straight away where it is. So that is it. It's not like the records was, it's because it was closed and it is not specifically at the Cabinet Office. So I was just looking at the inner part of Cabinet Office. Okay, that's the only thing.
So is it that all of you there in the office are new, like you came there and everybody else was out, so you have to constitute a new staff?
No, like our records, they are very experienced people. I think the other guy has been there for 35 years.
Exactly, that's what you're saying, because of the office is still there.
He himself will say, all this, that I got it from the other side. You were not around. I said, please help me. Okay. Because this is what they are looking for, and then if you have more, let me have it. It doesn't matter.
Now, for ministerial task forces that are sometimes created for various reasons, at the end of their work, what do?
They report back to cabinet.
Report back to cabinet. And we means the secretary to cabinet must have a report of whatever they're presenting, right?
Yeah.
And whatever decisions cabinet also took, they will also have.
Yeah.
So why is it difficult for you to have access to such reports?
No. I think it's still coming back to the closed file issue. What I have here is the same closed file that I never knew existed.
That's what you're saying, which means then you have some record keeping issues.
No, it's not record keeping. It's in fact is properly kept, because where I was looking at is different from where it was. My office is cabinet office, and where it was kept is a private and confidential office.
Do you index your records keeping? Do you index your records?
Yeah, absolutely. They have all the records, but not like, for example, when it is specifically for the confidential area, it is taken to the confidential area. When it is for the general office, it's taken to the general office. When it is specifically for the cabinet office, it's brought to the cabinet office.
So now that those two offices are almost, if I say merged, do you expect to see issues like that going forward? Because it seems you are talking about two different offices now, so you have to look in both.
You have to look at both.
Exactly. Yeah,
you have to look at both. So it was on the latter part that, in fact, they brought it to my attention. I think we should check with the other side. I said, please let me have that.
Okay. All right. Mr. Chair, I think that's all I have for now.
Thank you, honorable members. Mr. Njie, I will have to say this. But before I do, I'll have to give you a very strong undertaking regarding the request that is made for you to produce the file. You remember the file? The PR file? And the way book. Well, like I said, that file, our committee is interested to see documents that are related to the work of the committee. Of course, JANNEH Commission like we are saying. Not so. You're talking about private file, or whatever it is. We wanted to see the file so that we can get the documents that are related to our work. And that you should provide within 24 hours. Okay, within 24 hours. And then you agree to that. So we want to see that before tomorrow at this time. Now, the other thing I wanted to say, because today we were supposed to deal with you on several issues regarding the operations of the JANNEH Commission and what it has done. Simply we cannot do because we do not have these documents from you, and then the council was unable to ask questions that are related to the disposal of assets and what conclusion the cabinet subcommittee has done. For that being the case, like I said earlier on, when I saw your letter, I was a bit disappointed, and the reason why I was disappointed is because you closed the letter to say your office does not have any record of the JANNEH Commission and what the JANNEH Commission has done. And for me, as chairperson of this committee, JANNEH Commission was established by the executive. Is that not right? And I am pretty much sure the office that you are occupying today must have records of that establishment. Those documents are there. And the work of this committee, I want to believe that your office should take the lead, because remember, even the president himself made mention in a statement that because National Assembly is setting up an inquiry, he does not set up another committee again to look into this issue. So it means this issue is serious. So we expect your office to support us in the work that we are doing.
We will give you everything.
We don't want to see this as a concealment from your end. We want you to provide the documents so that we can do this work as quick as possible, because our reporting time is getting closer. And like 24 hours is just 24 hours. That is just before 3 o'clock tomorrow, we should be able to get this file so that we can retrieve the documents that we wanted and complete on this. And if it is possible, you know how to do it. You can deal with any other minister that was part of the Ministerial Committee to get documents from them. That's also for you. You know how to do that. But we are going to ask you to provide those documents for us. So I don't want to mention something that will mean something with your office, but I think your office has to support this committee for today. And if you can't provide these documents for us tomorrow, that would be another statement, and that would be very bad for your office as well, because then you will be sabotaging the work of this committee. So for that being the case, I will close it there for now and ask you to provide these documents. All right, sorry about that. So for that being the case, we will close for you today, Council. If there is no other thing to clarify, we will only have to ask him to provide this file for us, and then, if possible, if you need him again, we can summon him again to come to testify.
So, Honorable Chair, there were documents produced by the witness, and there are documents that the witness has also brought today. We would like to tender those in momentarily, as the other documents are pending.
Yeah. Because when the member was asking about those documents, like the documents are not signed, why not we wait for the file, the entire file, to come with these documents, so that we can tender both of them together, if that is okay? Because then you will need him again to come and appear. Is that
well,
okay?
It's up to the committee, but if I can just guide a bit, the documents brought by the witness are documents that the witness acknowledges are in his possession and are in his office. whether they are signed or not, he has retrieved them from his office. He is not here on personal capacity, but in the capacity of his office. So we will rely on those documents as his documents.
Yeah, because
but we can, as the chair pleases.
I'm just worried that the documents are not signed. How do we tell them no? If is that okay? Do we need them to be signed, or can we tell them as they are?
I think it's only the report that is not signed.
It's only the report.
Yeah.
Okay.
The report.
That's fine. That's fine. Then we can tender the documents. We can tender them.
Yes, and also if the witness goes back and finds a signed copy, he may still furnish us with that signed copy.
That's okay. That's okay. Then we can tender them, Mr. Njie. That's possible. You can tender those documents, and if you see any other document or especially the report that is not signed, if you have access to any document that is signed, that perhaps that is the report, you can also provide, because this one is not signed.
Yeah, as you said, it's for all of us. Any report or any issue that relates to the commission that is in either in file or somewhere, if I have it, I'll definitely provide it for you.
But
it is our interest.
I want to reiterate that we mentioned 24 hours to provide the file and the way book. And when you say 24 hours, we mean 24 hours here. You understand?
Yeah.
24 hours is starting from now. When we close here, that is when it starts. Tomorrow, by that time, the book, the way book, and then the file should be with the committee. Okay? All right?
That's fine. I think.
Yes, then Mr. Njie, please, if you may submit the documents to the Secretariat. And do you have a copy of your own, or did you only... But bring one copy.
Always, I will have a copy in the file. In the photocopy and give it to me. Which can have this. I think that's all. Yeah.
Honorable Chair, the next document will be a document that is actually in our records. It's in our records twice, so perhaps not to muddy our records. I'm not sure. I will seek your indulgence. Do we still admit it?
What's the title of the document?
It's the position as secretary to the commission. We've had it twice before. Do we still? Perhaps we can submit it and still It's fine. Let me make my application. I apply that we mark it SC8. 10th of July 2018. I wish to note that it's a copy and the copy has not been certified. But perhaps before the witness leaves, we can ask him to endorse the copy, just to say that this is indeed what is in their file and it's a true copy of the original.
That's fine.
The other document is a report. The report of the Presidential Task Force on the assets forfeited to the state pursuant to the JANNEH Commission recommendation submitted to Cabinet on the 23rd day of April 2020. There is no date on it. There is no date on the document and there is no signature. We would mark the document SC9. Aside from these two documents, I don't see any documents before me submitted by the witness, but my apologies, Honorable Chair, and to the witness. There's another document. However, the document looks like a series of other documents, but it has been extracted from other documents. And perhaps if I could afford the committee a chance to look at this document before I tender it. I have an issue tendering this document as it is. But perhaps let me give the committee the benefit of looking at the document.
That's fine.
Perhaps you can also give the witness courtesy to explain.
That's the only sheet? Is
Yes,
it only one?
that's the only sheet.
Okay. So Mr. Njie, the document seems to be extracted from a bunch, huh?
So that is what we call extract from cabinet conclusion.
This one?
Yeah, this one. So it doesn't normally have the dates, except the day that the cabinet was. The cabinet meeting was conducted. So, but when I saw it in the file, I thought deem it necessary that probably is. So that's the establishment.
When cabinet had meetings, when they were discussing on the agenda.
That's the agenda, the first page, the agenda. That's where you have the date.
So this was the only issue they discussed, and the report was on. This is the only page on the report of the cabinet conclusion.
This for the establishment of the committee, I think so.
But is it that the document that you extract this page from, is it not all about JANNEH Commission issues?
Where it started from.
So perhaps I do get the drift. Perhaps if we can give the witness the courtesy of going back with the document and providing the whole entire document, because we need to know the header, get the date, and know the agenda, and validate it all. Perhaps we could allow the witness to tell us whether it's a confidential document, and so that we can treat it appropriately as a committee. So if it's not a confidential document, then it should be submitted and we can mark it. If it is, then we can trace our steps as a committee.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking. If it is confidential document, we know how to treat with that, deal with that.
Yeah, I think you
if it is not confidential,
yes,
but it will be important for us to get that document so that we can get the date and all the other recordings
I'll search for it.
in the report.
How it originated.
Yeah, please.
And then how, but that was just the formation. Where if you
we'll need more information from that report because
obviously, for me, every information here you deserve to know it, so it doesn't matter. If you can just keep them safe, that is what is important.
So we'll give it, council will give him back the.
Yes, but just so that the record can reflect, I would urge that the committee mark the document as rejected temporarily, so that we identify the document and know that we are expecting.
Noted, that's okay.
For clarity, well, according to your explanation, it means usually this is the only one you could have for this purpose. It cannot be, although we know it's extracted, but it doesn't mean that it has left some pages behind. Usually when you have an extracted canon, it's only one sheet.
Yeah, one sheet. Extracts don't go with attachments.
It doesn't go with attachments?
No, it doesn't go with attachments. I think I'll give you an example when I come next time, just to show you how the extracts are done. And then I'm not sure how it was, but I know this was the establishment. That's how the establishment started.
Okay.
So the subsequent thing, I have no idea. Yeah.
All right. Just like it is advised by the council now, the report by the task force on former President Yahya Jammeh's properties, that's the report that you've provided. The committee will reject it for now, and then will allow you temporarily and allow you to go back and provide the accompanying, pages, so that we can get a full gist of what is being provided. Okay? We will not be able to tender this one for now.
So, Honorable Chair, if I may ask that we take a copy of it, just one copy. The Secretariat can take a copy, and the original can be given back to the witness. Honorable Chair, I believe we can close the session until.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Njie, for coming.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your coming to testify before this committee. Like I said, the work of this committee is only meant to support the system as well.
Absolutely, we are together.
Yes, we are together in this. I mean, we are not doing any witch hunting.
No.
We want to ensure that we get the full facts of what had happened during the JANNEH Commission, and report back to plenary for any further action. So just like you, not you in your personality as Mr. Alieu Njie, but your office as the Secretary to Cabinet.
No, I don't.
You understand?
Feel free about
yes, exactly. So that is the reason why we called you. We thank you for coming, and then we will release you for today. But like I said, when we need you anymore, anytime, and they will.
Absolutely, I think it's necessary. As I said, we are together in this, so I don't feel anything personal. I feel like you asking me what is relevant to the country and for all of us. So it is not something that I'm thinking like is personal or whatever is attacking me as an individual. No, I'm myself. I'm interested in the report after when you finish. Because I know what it means. All of us, we always want to know what has transpired. And if you don't have it like this, probably people who have the information who can provide it. If I don't provide it for you from cabinet, who will provide it for you? There is nobody who will provide it for you.
That's fine.
So let's just communicate.
Sure.
Yeah, just communicate. I think that is what is important.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Chair, my apologies. I wish to just note that perhaps we might not be as tidy as we were in summoning his appearance this time around. It could be a very short notice, and Mr. Njie, you'd have to forgive us for that, but we're racing against time, it could be a 24-hour notice or whatnot, but we will try as best as possible to issue the notice and be as courteous as possible that we can to you.
Problem, feel free about that anytime. I'm available. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Meeting adjourned for today. Diba?